Spokesperson Mbuyiseli Madlanga criticized the certificates.
I noticed that this is one of those medical certificates, the nature of which I've previously said are useless in the sense that they give no information whatsoever. It's not even a case of what Mr. Bongani said, which is confidentiality issues. It's just one of those useless so-called medical certificates.
Johnson's testimony has been postponed indefinitely. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
The MK party has laid down a marker ahead of the local government elections by recruiting corruption-accused former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede. Gumede will be deputy convener in KwaZulu-Natal, and she's expected to be the party's mayoral candidate in the metro. She's kept a low political profile over the past couple of years after the ANC made her step aside due to her ongoing corruption trial. MK Party Secretary General Sibonelo Nomvalo says Gumede's recruitment is a game changer for the party.
We are giving you a very warm reception because you have unquestionable credentials in the politics of KwaZulu-Natal and in the politics of South Africa. We know that you are coming with a very positive paradigm shift. You are coming with a very positive contribution in the MK Party. Let's join our hands together in building this strong ship of the left.
But Gumede says she doesn't want to answer questions about why she dumped the ANC for the MK Party.
Nobhala wethu jikelele ngivumeleni ukuthi le mbuzo ebuziwe ngingayiphenduli kodwa ngithi nje.
Secretary General, please allow me not to answer these questions, but I do want to say I am grateful to be welcomed with this much warmth to the MK Party.
The father of slain rapper Keenan aka Forbes says he hasn't spoken with the family of Anele Tembe since her death. A hearing to determine whether anyone is legally responsible for AKA's fiance's passing was expected to start in the Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday, but it was postponed after the magistrates fell ill. Tembe died after falling from the 10th story of the Pepper Club Hotel in Cape Town in 2021. Carlo Peterson has more.
Tony Forbes, the father of slain rapper Keenan aka Forbes, says there's no reason for him to be speaking to Anele Tembe's family.
We go to that inquest and we put the facts down, and the decision is made in an informed way, not based on people just accusing my son of murder without having proof.
Forbes says he has evidence Tembe's death may have been suicide, a finding that has long been disputed by her family.
I released to various parties the text between Keenan and Anele talks about why she wants to kill herself.
The inquest is set down to proceed on the 7th of September. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And the U.S. military has carried out a third consecutive night of strikes against Iran as President Donald Trump reinstates a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Central Command says the strikes will continue imposing a heavy cost on Iranian forces and degrade their ability to attack innocent civilians and commercial shipping in the strait. The United Arab Emirates yesterday said Iran had attacked 2 ships in the vital waterway, killing 1 crew member and injuring 8 others. The dispute over control of the Strait of Hormuz threatens to derail efforts to end their war, but Trump insists a deal is still possible. Iran's foreign ministry says last month's memorandum of understanding that formed the basis for negotiations and lifted the U.S. blockade is in crisis. While Iran's ports would again be blocked, Trump says all other countries will have a fair and open use of the strait.
And we're controlling the straits, we're putting the blockade back, and it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through. So it's a blockade, it's a very strong blockade. The blockade was probably more effective even than hitting them, but I think the combination is the thing that really does it.
Gold is trading at $4,001.13 an ounce. The rand is at 16.45 to the dollar, 21.96 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.67 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the N3 North that happened right near the Baku interchange, is causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the Mark 1 North between Xavier Street and the Crown interchange. That's due to peak time delays there.
And in your Sport 4 debutants, in the injury-riddled Springbok side to face Wales on Saturday, the Junior Boks came from 8 points down to beat England and set up a World Championship final with France. Louis Oosthuizen forced to withdraw from the Open that starts Thursday. And the FIFA World Cup semi-final tonight, France against Spain at 9.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 4 degrees, peaking at 19. Pretoria 5 and 20. Vereniging 3 and 20 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The Madlanga Commission has expressed frustration with what seems to be a pattern of more witnesses delaying proceedings.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Eight minutes after 6 o'clock, it's Tuesday, the 14th of July, the year of our Lord 2026. On our menu today, Team South Africa heads to Shanghai for their historic Spelling Bee World Cup debut. Will they do as well as Bafana Bafana? Will they be like the Proteas? Or will they be like Amapokopoko? We'll speak to the Department of Basic Education. We like the idea that kids should read, that kids should be smart, that it should be cool for kids to be smart. Catch and release. That's what Jordan Hill-Lewis is calling the idea of accused persons getting bail without due regard to the seriousness of the allegations against them, nor the potential harm they may pose to the communities from which they come. Do you think we should sneak one or two other questions to Jordan Hill-Lewis, the mayor of Cape Town? Here's a big interview coming up. We'll speak to Standard Bank about their Africa Unlocked gathering, bringing together smart minds in AI, in agriculture, in business, talking about the future of the continent and its development. And then we meet the latest chef to exit the kitchen in MasterChef.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes after 6 o'clock, that's what's on our menu today. And as always, of course, there's an entire team of colleagues behind the scenes who are helping to put the show together. Siam Tanda and Bapelile, the producers in the booth this morning. Ropfia putting the show together from yesterday. We've got Karabo in the booth, also responsible for social media. KG starting the clock. Amoramila is here with traffic and so much more, as is Muteo Hwaripe with business news and so much more. Cindy Paluta is at the sports desk. Sfiso Zulu bringing your eyewitness news. So the entire team, the regular team, dare I say, the A-team is together again. No one missing today. Amo and Muteo, I've got a couple of questions for you. The first of which is, how good is your spelling? Is there a word that trips you up? Is there a word that you get annoyed because it is so difficult to spell? Maybe you can spell it, but you just think, why? Why does it have to be so difficult? Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Please explain to me why the word precede, right, which is to go before, right, is spelt P-R-E-C-E-D-E. Whereas the word proceed, which means to go ahead, is spelt P-R-O-C-E-E-D. Why does the one seed become C-E-D-E and the other C-E-E-D when in fact the seed that you plant in the ground is S-E-E-D?
Because English.
Yo.
Very technical language. It's so technical.
What's the word that gets you every time?
For me, it's quiet, and I know this sounds like the easiest word in the dictionary.
Quiet.
Yeah, quiet, as in keep quiet, and quite friendly or quiet.
Oh, quiet and quiet.
Yes, that.
Really?
Yeah.
Muteo?
A simple word, but very tricky at times if you don't think it through. So the word indict, right?
Yes.
Indictment.
Yes.
Has a C in it.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like
For a
it
reason
does.
we cannot explain.
Exactly. So whenever I have to spell it, I always like take a second look because I'm just like, I'm going to get it wrong.
I want you to listen to the American spelling bee, right? I want you to listen to what they have to learn. I'll start with last year's 2025 spelling bee. 13-year-old Faizan, who is from Texas, who won the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee, making history on his fourth attempt at the competition. He secured the title in the final round by spelling correctly a 15-letter word, which I will not even dare to try and pronounce. Have a listen.
So if you spell this next word correctly, we will declare you the champion of the historic 100th year of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Now, let's all of us take a deep breath.
Yes.
And
That did not help at all.
Bro.
Then smile.
Well, a certain pacing would help to follow.
Yeah.
Okay. Your word is éclaircissement.
Éclaircissement. E-C-L-A-I-R-C-I-S-S-E-M-E-N-T. Éclaircissement. That is correct.
Éclaircissement. Hey? Would you be able to spell that? And Mateo, I wouldn't. I can barely say
Never
it.
mind
Right?
spelling
I had
it.
to wait
What is it?
I had to wait for the uncle to say it again, right?
Yeah.
Éclaircissement. In fact, this kid, Faizan Zaki, had come second the year before in the competition. So this was a real triumph for him, having been pipped to the post, as it were, the year before. Let's go to another one. This is from this year. This is again the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Listen to the champ from California, so the one who won after the kid you've just heard. Listen to what they have to spell. They have to spell 32 words in 90 seconds, and they win a $50,000 cash prize. Monteo, you work out the numbers, what that translates to in rand value, but it's a substantial amount. Let's have a listen to it, KG. This is a 14-year-old Shrey Parikh from California. Listen to what these kids have to spell.
Your 90 seconds will begin once I pronounce your first word, and I won't say another word until you press the button. So your first word is Taroni.
T-O-R-O-N-E.
Enthymeme.
E-N-T-H-Y-M-E-M-E.
Iguape.
I-G-U-A-P.
Denebola.
D-N-E-B-O-L-A.
Fedodo.
F-A-S-D-O-D-O.
Coathai.
C-Y-W-Y-D-D-A-U.
Pohutakawa.
P-O-H-U-T-U-K-A-W-A.
Monadnock.
M-O-N-A-D-N-O-C-K.
Emut.
E-M-U-T.
Nanofossil.
N-A-N-O-F-O-S-S-I-L.
Tongkang.
T-O-N-G-K-N-G.
Nakatosh.
N-A-T-C-H-I-T-O-C-H-E-S.
Fla.
F-L-A-I-T-H.
Semele.
S-E-M-E-L-E.
And on it goes for the 90 seconds. I couldn't spell a single one of those words.
They should be paying way more than 820,000 rand for that. Way more.
I promise. Firstly, I don't know what they mean. I don't know how to say them, and I certainly don't know how to spell them. But that's a 13-year-old who won this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee competition. This is, of course, in the US. And so Team South Africa jetting off to Shanghai for their debut. I want to know from you, what is that word you battle to spell that gets you every time you try? My goodness. And how reliant are you on autocorrect, Mateo?
Well, these days you use it all the time. The word that also irks me is lieutenant and lieutenant. We say lieutenant even though it's spelled.
Yo, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conscientious, right, Amo? Conscientious.
Conscious has to be that one
Yo.
for me.
All of them.
All of them.
All the above. It's enough to make you unconscious.
Bongani, words and spelling, it in here. Words and spelling, diarrhea tends my stomach.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Oh my gosh, 16 after 6. Here's another one. This is our actual shout out this morning, Mateo and Amo. What is that one enduring lesson you learned from your parents. What did your mom or dad or both, what did they teach you? What's that one thing you carry with you and you say, this is my mom, this is my dad?
My mom was to be more direct, so very confrontational when it accounts for you to be. My dad was to know when to use your strength and when not to.
Ooh, what do the kids say? Clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it with a finger. Amu?
That cleanliness is next to godliness. That's my mom through and through. And, she would enforce what you call routine. No matter how busy you are or how early you need to show up for work, or just stick to your routine, stick to it. Even if you're going through the toughest time, even if you're feeling like you're under the weather, wake up in the morning, do your bed, open the curtains, open the window, go wash your face, brush your teeth, show up for breakfast, wash your dishes, clean yourself up, clean the house, show up for whatever you need to show up for. And that's just always been her.
Routine. What did your parents teach you? Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Well, yesterday was the day of high drama at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry as yet another witness, moments before she was due to appear before the commission, through her legal representatives, told the commission she was unable to join them because she had fallen ill. In fact, what we understand from the commission chair, Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga, they were told literally as they began proceedings, and the sick note that the commission was given, well, Justice Madlanga didn't want to hear any of it. He called it absolutely useless. What are we to do with these Shabir Sheikh notes? What is the commission to do with these Shabir Sheikh notes?
It's just one of those useless so-called medical certificates.
Indeed, Chair.
But anyway, the bottom line is that Advocate Johnson is not here.
Indeed.
We are forced in the circumstances to postpone the hearing of Advocate Johnson's testimony to a date to be determined.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
That's what we heard just yesterday. Of course, it's a long list of witnesses who, for one reason or another, have told the commission they couldn't appear because of illness.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Mateo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning from you and the 702 landers. Do you entertain late night calls or messages? Or you don't answer them at the time, they make you anxious? Or you take them as an emergency and you always answer?
If you are in an emergency, unless you are my child, I'm that friend you don't call.
Wow. Even if you're around the corner from me.
If you are in an emergency, unless you are my child, I'm that friend you don't call. I mean, to be fair, I would not on a random Saturday night at, 11:30, see Muteo Kharipe's name flashing on my phone, look at it and ignore it because you've never called me at 11:30 on a Saturday. So, of course, I would respond, but I'm not always looking at my phone. In fact, particularly when it's downtime because we work, we spend so much of our work life on our phones.
Sure.
I tend to sometimes not want to have the phone near me. And then I keep it on silent, of course, because even now, if it were to ring, nobody else wants to hear it in 702 land, right? So if you're in an emergency, I'm not the friend you call, Mateo.
Amu, pick up the phone?
I will pick up the phone, but I will not answer the message because most of the time, if the message comes in late at night, I would have been sleeping anyway. So I'll see it only in the morning when I wake up. But the best thing to do if you want to get to me is to phone me.
Text me.
Phone me.
Do not call. Your house could be burning.
You must text.
Your last confession, text me.
Okay, I'll tell
I'm
you.
much likelier to get an answer speedily.
702.
Weather.
I'm so curious about what prompts Muteo Kharipe's question. Let's talk about what conditions you can expect today in Gauteng. It's going to be a partly cloudy day for the province. Temperatures in Joburg peaking at 19 degrees, both Pretoria and Vereeniging maxing at 20 degrees. Your high in East London and Gqeberha is 19, Mahikeng 23. Cape Town cloudy, it's misty in the morning, 17 degrees is your high, and Durban is 23.
EWN Traffic.
Our first look at the roads, 22 after 6. Amma, what are you seeing?
Well, Bongani, we've got an accident in the Kelvin area. It's right near the Baku interchange on the N3 North. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Marlborough Drive while traveling on the Mike 1 North. We've got another accident scene there. It happened right near Xavier Street. It's causing heavy delays, especially because we also have got peak time delays along this route. So the delays are between Xavier Street and Carr Street. Then, of course, those roadworks on the N3 North causing delays between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road. Please approach with care. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Bongani and the team, from my dad, I've learned that when times are tough, there is this one word that he used to use. Don't give it a Jew. Don't give it a Jew. And the other word from him was know your needs and your wants. You should know the difference between your needs and your wants. And with my mom, timekeeping, 2 o'clock is 2 o'clock. There's no African time. Label Kruger.
Absolutely the same for me. Neatness. I've been accused once or twice of being OCD, which I don't think I am. But neatness, cleanliness next to godliness, and punctuality. All of those go to my mother. Fashion and a taste in the finer things in life, that also goes to her.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The other question we're asking, of course, 23 after 6, things you need to know at this hour is, what are we to do with these Shabir Sheikh notes? He was, I suppose, the original sick note guy who was released early, even though he'd been sentenced following, of course, his conviction in the arms deal matter. And there he was, upon his release, playing golf, living his best life. And he's still walking, he walked his way to the sunset, as it were. I mean, think of the number of people who were scheduled to appear before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry who have called in sick, from the so-called political fixer Brown Mokgotsi, right, to the Medicare CEO, Medicare 24 CEO Mike van Wyk, businessman Suleiman Karim, who also failed to appear. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, his testimony was postponed to tomorrow. So guess what? Will we be waiting to see if he has recovered or not? Yesterday, of course, it was the turn of IDEC head Andrea Johnson, who also failed to appear on medical grounds. We also know, of course, the Crime Intelligence Deputy Head Major General Feroz Khan is in hospital also because he is recovering from injuries he sustained from a shooting incident. What is the commission to do? The war of words between the United States and Iran has intensified. U.S. President Donald Trump declaring the U.S. will restart its naval blockade of Iran. And then he says the U.S. will become the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz, and they're going to charge 20%. 20% as a passage fee. Remember, until now, of course, the US has objected to Iran doing this, and they've said these are international waters. This is an international waterway. No country may charge for cargo that needs to get through. Iran insists that it remains the guardian of the straits. But one of the things they are appreciating now is they're saying, well, you see, Donald Trump, at least we're all in agreement that whoever is in charge can charge. We've all heard the familiar safety briefing before takeoff, right? Fasten your seatbelt. Place the oxygen mask firmly over your nose and mouth to locate the nearest emergency exits. What am I talking about? When you are on a flight. Mutewa, how closely do you listen to the on-air or on-flight or in-flight instructions?
All the time. Because I'm like, today might be the day. I'm that guy. Today might be the day.
Do you sit there and you concentrate? Do you know what to do if that mask falls down?
If you asked me to present it, I probably wouldn't be able to. But like every time they do it, I do listen.
Amo, how closely do you listen to it?
Yeah, not that closely, hey, to be very frank with you. I think if an emergency would happen, I would probably look to my sides to see what the next people are doing, because I wasn't focusing when they were telling me what you need to do in an emergency.
Listen, there's this flight on, it's a low-cost airline, Ryanair, so it's sort of their version of Mango or Fly Safair in the UK. It was in Germany. It was bound for Germany. And as it took off in Greece, some part of the engine blew and it essentially broke one of the windows, and one of the passengers was sucked out head first. And of course, the pilots tried to re-land because it was just after takeoff, so it hadn't gone very far. But obviously, as the aircraft lost air compression, this man was sucked out head first out of the window, and his desperate wife held him by his legs with other passengers assisting. Luckily, he was not pulled out of the aircraft, but it was a near-death experience of note. And so, how well do you listen to those instructions on a plane? And the veteran actor Sam Neill, best known for bringing Dr. Alan Grant to life in Jurassic Park in that franchise, he has died at the age of 78. His family said in a statement that his death was sudden and unexpected. You remember, of course, he was in The Piano, he was in The Hunt for Red October, he was in Event Horizon, and the hit television series Peaky Blinder. I'm going to play you an interview that wasn't quite an interview. He was speaking in front of an audience, and he was asked a particularly moving question about what his parents taught him. I'm not going to play that now. We'll play that for you a little later, but that's why we're asking the question about what your parents taught you. You should hear his answer. It really, really is moving. And finally on this day, Donna Summer's disco anthem, Bad Girls, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
702.
The newspapers.
Sfisa Zulu, let's look at the papers. In international news, what have you got?
Bongani, this next one's quite heavy. A British survivor has spoken out about a wildfire which tore through a village in southern Spain last week. Malcolm Timbal told BBC News that he got separated from his wife and their friends, and when he was trying to go back to save their 2 cats, he ended up riding out the fire, trapped inside a car, watching other vehicles around him burst into flames. This is because of the heat wave in Spain recently, where 13 people died.
Gosh, the story of the heatwave is quite unbelievable. The front page of the Sowetan Madlanga, sick of delays. The Business Day, another SA interest rate hike predicted, and the Citizen running with gun licenses misfire. And they're saying our firearm registration system is collapsing.
EWN Business.
Something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Mateo wants to know, do you entertain late night calls or messages, or do you ignore them? Do they make you anxious? Do you take them assuming it's an emergency and you are that guy or that gal who always answers? What prompts the question?
Bongani, the National Treasury sent a late-night email last night at 2 minutes to 10 announcing a leadership shake-up at the Public Investment Corporation. The PIC Chief Executive, Patrick Dlamini, has been placed on precautionary suspension following a meeting of the corporation's board. Some 9 of the PIC's 11 board members voted in favor of the decision. The suspension follows weeks of developments surrounding the PIC's poor handling of various issues. The PIC has been battling historic losses in its unlisted portfolio, the Isibaya Fund, where around 67 billion rand of the 120 billion committed was deployed to distressed and failing entities. Another issue includes a whistleblower complaint against the CEO, Patrick Dlamini, for governance failures, the publication of a confidential PwC forensic report, the PIC chairperson David Masonda's referral of aspects of the matter to the Special Investigating Unit, and businessman Kagiso Majila's 900 million rand High Court damage claim against Patrick Dlamini. So a lot is going on at the PIC, and they're really trying to rein it in. Now, in 2013, the PIC provided 333 million rand in terms of a loan to a BE partner, Acapulco Trade and Invest, to acquire a 25% stake in Lanseria Airport. Acapulco subsequently defaulted on the loan, resulting in a debt that ballooned to over 600 million rand. Chairperson of the state-owned fund, David Masonda, has referred facets of these transactions to the Special Investigating Unit, while the government Employees Pension Fund, which is managed by the PIC, and Parliament demand increased accountability. Now, to ensure stability and optimum management of the PIC investment decisions, the board further resolved that Mr. Leon Smith, the current head for fixed income in listed investments for the PIC will be appointed as the acting CIO. So basically a cleanup of the mess going on there.
All right, where's the rand?
16 Rand 46 against the US dollar, weaker this morning. 18 Rand 75 against the euro. 21 Rand 99 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,013 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,610. Brent crude at $84 a barrel, up 1.8% this morning. More business after 7.
Time now for the latest eyewitness news, brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 rands. Fisa Zulu, I would bet if ever there's a new story that is a broken record, we play it every year, it would be this one. I'll let you tell it.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. Kokta Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has condemned illegal initiation schools, saying they undermine the integrity of the customary practice by committing criminal acts. 108 initiates have been rescued from bogus initiation schools, while 75 others have been hospitalized since the winter initiation season began. 35 boys have died, while 12 abductions have been reported during the season. Maki Molapo takes a look.
There have been reports of bogus initiation schools subjecting young men to harsh conditions which include abuse, kidnappings, injuries and fatalities. According to a preliminary report by the Provincial Initiation Coordinating Committee, 58 illegal initiation schools were opened, but 42 of them have since been closed this year. The report further states 150 criminal cases were opened, resulting in the arrests of 40 people. The PICC says 3 assault cases have also been opened and 1 injury reported. The Cooperative Governance Department is urging parents to enroll their children to legally registered initiation schools with authorized healthcare practitioners. Minister Hlabisa has called for the tradition to be practiced in a dignified manner that protects the health and lives of every initiate. Maki Malapo, Eyewitness News.
The father of slain rapper Keenan aka Forbes says he hasn't spoken to the family of Anele Tembe since her death. A hearing to determine whether anyone is legally responsible for AKA's fiance's passing was expected to start in the Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday, but it had to be postponed after the magistrate fell ill. Tembe died after falling from the 10th floor of a hotel in Cape Town in 2021. Carlo Peterson reports.
Tony Forbes, the father of slain rapper Keenan aka Forbes, says there's no reason for him to be speaking to Anele Tembe's family.
We go to that inquest and we put the facts down, and the decision is made in an informed way, not based on people just accusing my son of murder without having proof.
Forbes says he has evidence Tembe's death may have been suicide, a finding that has long been disputed by her family.
I released to various parties the text between Keenan and Anele talks about why she wants to kill herself.
The inquest is set down to proceed on the 7th of September. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
The Competition Commission has recommended the approval of Harith Aviation's acquisition of Surfair Holdings, the parent company of Fly Surfair. Harith is an infrastructure investment firm that finances projects across sectors, and that includes in transport, energy and telecommunications. The deal will see Harith take ownership of South Africa's largest domestic airline, pending final approval by the Competition Tribunal. Anelita Fandesa reports.
The acquisition was first announced in February following regulatory scrutiny over Fly Surfair's ownership structure. The Commission found that because Harith has interest in Lanseria Airport, safeguards are needed to prevent rival airlines from being disadvantaged through preferential access or pricing. The recommendation is made subject to conditions aimed at protecting competition. To address competition concerns, the merger parties have agreed to restrict the exchange of commercially sensitive information and ensure that airline and airport services at Lanseria International Airport are provided to all airlines on fair, reasonable and non-discriminatory terms. The proposed transaction will now be considered by the Competition Tribunal, which will make the final decision on whether the merger can proceed. Anelita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 5 degrees, peaking at highs between 19 and 20.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Mark North. This is right as you approach Borison's Road. That's due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic reported on the the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baku interchange. That's due to an accident.
The top story this hour, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has condemned illegal initiation schools after 35 boys died this winter season.
With the price of everything going up, a drop in your car insurance premium is just what you need to have extra money in your pocket. Switch to OutSurance and you could save big, like 54-year-old Yaku, who saves an amazing 282 Rand on his 2025 Suzuki Swift. Don't pay more than you need to. Get an OutSurance quote to switch and save today. SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. OutSurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
This Tuesday, July 14, you could win an estimated 29 million Rand total Powerball jackpot. That's a mega 18 million for Powerball and 11 million for Powerball Extra. Catch the live draw this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ETV and SABC. You could become SA's next multi-millionaire. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions.
Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakaya.
The CSIR International Convention Center has over 40 years of experience in hosting international, local, and national business events. This purpose-built venue is set on a tranquil campus in Pretoria East. It's in the knowledge hub and science diplomacy capital, the city of Tshwane. So why don't you host your next business event at a venue where innovation meets experience? Visit csiricc.co.za for more information. The CSIR International Convention Center, where smart minds meet.
Imagine if you could save time like you save money. A second here, a minute there. Type a little faster, walk a little faster. Or you could stop scrolling on the internet. Just think of all the hours you'll save. Now what if you could take all that time and invest it? Watch it grow. Until eventually, one day, you'd have so much time that you wouldn't know what to do with it all. But unfortunately, time doesn't work like that. It can't be stored or banked. And unlike money, you can't make it back. That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do whatever you want to do, even if it is scrolling on the internet. Ellen Gray. Long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 have been looking for small businesses that have turned real challenges into powerful solutions. So one business is going to walk away with 200,000 Rand in cash. We'll give them a strategic business support plan, mentorship and growth tools. On the 17th of July, we will announce the winner of the 2026 Nedbank Business Ignite on 702. T's and C's apply. Nedbank, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Oh, Mateo, in terms of emergency, I don't attend to them. Reason being, when I sleep, my phone is on silent. I remember one of the days, my mom got an accident in Kiani. And I know that, first thing that the family will do is to say, would say me, we are in this situation. And I said to them, guys, sisters, there's nothing that I can do. Get the ambulance, get my mom to the hospital, I'll be there. But I won't rush because if I'll die on the road rushing. One thing that I can tell is I'm not a doctor, but I'll be there. But not to rush, because of when I rush, it simply means I'm the one to get to an accident and die. So as long as she's not dead, I'll be at the hospital. It's emergency.
I'm straight from Pretoria. Well, I don't mind to receive SMS, WhatsApp at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m. You can call me at any time. And trust me, when I pick up a call, I'm not going to answer it as if I'm a dead person. And it gets into my nerve when I have to call someone, like you answer my call as if you are dead. You know, Like, no, come on, really? I mean, once you woke up, decided to pick my call, be alive, please.
Wow, I'm not a doctor. I'll see you at the hospital. Are you that person your friends or people in your life should call in an emergency? Do you answer those late night calls? For me, best you text. Otherwise, you'll stay in that emergency for quite a while.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, we're also talking about Team South Africa going to Shanghai for the first time for the World Spelling Bee competition. How good is your spelling? How reliant are you on autocorrect?
No,
for example?
I'm pretty good. I mean, there's the standard words that we all wonder, like diarrhea and that kind of stuff. But generally, I'm actually really, really good. My family's always like, "How do you spell?" I'm like, what am I paying school fees for?
I tell you what. Let's talk rugby. That's where we'll start today.
Yes. 4 debutants, DEBUTANTS, in the Springbok side to face Wales on Saturday. Yaku Williams on the wing, Vusi Moyo at fly half in the front row, Lach Ruben van Geerden and Prop Carlu Sadi. Here's coach Rassie Rasmus.
You know, they've been with us for 7 weeks, some of them, and a guy like Yaku, Carlu, all the guys you've mentioned, Vusi and probably Ruben. What we've seen from them in training sessions, they definitely brought it to us and helping prepare the other guys for the test matches. We feel it's fair to give them opportunity here. We think they can step up and do the job for us against Wales.
Unavailable due to injury, Etzebeth, Mostad, Esterhazen, Moody, Pollard and Nche. The match is not sold out. Neither was the game at Ellis Park against England. That had more than 9,000 open seats. The game at Loftus against Scotland had 5,000 empty seats. Fans refusing to pay inflated amounts for tickets. SA Rugby says it will review this year's ticketing strategy at the end of the season. Junior Bucks are through to the World Championship final after beating England 53-37. Junior Bucks trailed by 8 at halftime and came back scoring 3 quick tries to secure place in the final. They'll play France on Saturday. France beat New Zealand 26-22. In golf, Louis Oosthuizen's been forced to withdraw from the Open due to a back injury and is replaced by fellow South African Aldrich Potgieter. The world's oldest major returns to Royal Birkdale Golf Club in Southport, England, starting Thursday. FIFA World Cup semi-final tonight. Highly contested battle between the top-ranked side France and the world number 3 Spain. The clash, being played at a 70,000 capacity stadium in Dallas, has been hyped as the battle between Kylian Mbappe and Lamine Yamal. Kickoff is at 9 p.m. Second semi-final tomorrow night. The defending champions Argentina are playing England. And in cricket, overnight, New Zealand thrashed the West Indies by 5 wickets in the second ODI to level the series. Black Caps chased down 139 with 17 overs to spare. Later today, the first ODI between England and India starts at 12. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hi, my name is Tapelo. I am 13 years old at De La Salle Holy Cross College. When I grow up, I would like to become a neurosurgeon. I can't wait to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
It's 6:45 on the nose. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. That crash on the N3 North. Amo, is it still bad?
It's horrible, Bongani. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up coming out of, at this current moment, the Vincent Chabalala Road exit towards the Baku interchange. Please be on the lookout there. You can still use the Makwa North through Sandton if you want to head to areas like Woodmead as well as Sunny Hill. While traveling on the M1 North, we've got a bit of a stop-and-go situation. This is between Xavier Street and Carr Street, also due to another accident scene that happened right near Boyson's Road. While traveling in Germiston, we've got delays on the N3 North between the Elands interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to roadworks along this route. Please approach with care. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Clever excuses for being late. Number 91. The lift looks suspicious, so I had to take the stairs all the way up. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer in the FSP.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and really all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring MTN. We'll be speaking to their Group Chief Sustainability and Corporate Affairs Officer, Nompilo Morafe. We do this on Wednesdays to highlight efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and together make a difference.
You know when your people are giving their best, not because they're pushed or pressured, but because they feel supported. And support is making sure they're covered. So if something happens, they can get the care they need. FlexiCare Health Insurance makes it simple for every business to protect their people with affordable health cover. You care. We cover. For a tailored FlexiCare quote, speak to your financial advisor today. FlexiCare is not a medical scheme and the cover is not the same. FlexiCare is underwritten by Auto & General, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP, and administered by Discovery Health, an authorized FSP.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Babize bonke.
What is your business here?
You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. This week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on primemediaplus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
This Tuesday, July 14, you could win an estimated 29 million Rand total Powerball jackpot. That's a mega 18 million for Powerball and 11 million for Powerball Extra. Catch the live draw this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ETV and SABC. You could become SA's next multi-millionaire. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions.
Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakaya.
Coming up in the next hour, What's the Question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. You send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show. For that, you win 1,000 Rand. WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072-702-1702. Then 2,000 Rand will go to the person who asks a question to get to your answer. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Bongani. Career. For the longest of time, it's supposed to be, it is double ER. So I used to go double RIE, so double, so the double in that career until I just had to, make it a point that so now of course I can spell it, but for the longest of time, it used to confuse me between the double ER and the double RIE, Prince here, Johannesburg.
My stress levels alone when I have to get to KFC and figure out if I'm going to say Colonel or Colonel. And I don't think I could just spell it off the bat,
It's Colonel. But also, why do you have to... Is there a Colonel special?
There is a Colonel meal.
Colonel something.
But the weirdest thing is that if you go into KFC and you say you want the Colonel meal, they will say, oh, you mean Colonel.
Stop now, Amo. Career, carrier, what are those words that trip you up? Up next, we talk South Africa going to the World Spelling Bee Champs.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
We love smart kids. We want kids to be bright. We want kids to read. We want kids to be able to do well in school, and we want it to be cool. And that's part of the reason we play the Whiz Quiz every morning. Kids aged 10 to 13 get to answer 10 questions in 60 seconds. It's $100 for each correct answer. Get all 10 right, you win 60,000 Rand. Today we're playing with Thapelo, who is 13 years old and wants to be a neurosurgeon later on in life. A very good morning to you, Thapelo. How are you feeling about playing the Whiz Quiz?
I'm good, thank you.
You are very good. Now, I'm told you love football. Have you been watching the World Cup?
Yes, I have.
Who's your favorite player?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, not Messi. Not for you, hey?
No.
No, it's too messy otherwise, hey? All right, let's play the Whiz Quiz. KG, start the clock. Which country is home to the ancient Great Wall?
China.
Correct. What is 12 divided by 2?
6.
Correct. Which country is a neighbor of South Africa, Lesotho or Madagascar?
Lesotho.
Correct. What is the correct name for a baby rabbit? Is it a kitten or is it a puppy?
A puppy.
It's a kitten. True or false? Octopuses have 3 hearts.
True.
Correct. Complete the saying, first come, first what?
Served.
Correct. In nursery rhymes, which character had a big fall from a wall?
Humpty Dumpty.
Correct. How many B's are there in the word bubble?
3.
Correct. Which continent is Egypt in?
Africa.
Correct. Spell the word complain.
COMPLAIN.
Correct. Oh, that kitten one. You were so close to 10,000 Rand. Thapelo, you were so close to 10,000 Rand. It's the kitten one. And can I tell you, we had huge debates with the team, and we had to check and double check. You can call a baby rabbit a bunny, a kit, or a kitten. You may certainly not call it a puppy. Thapelo, you walk away with 900 Rand. 9 correct answers is what you got. Well done, mate.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Current events. Developing stories.
Tough questions.
Your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
Indeed it is. On to this now. South Africa's brightest young spellers are heading to Shanghai this week for the inaugural Spelling Bee World Cup. They'll compete against some of the best spellers in the world. Recently crowned, of course, the African Spelling Bee Championships, Team South Africa is hoping to build on that success and to show that literacy, confidence, and a love for reading can open doors to incredible opportunities. This is the kind of competition they are likely to face.
Your 90 seconds will begin once I pronounce your first word, and I won't say another word until you press the button. So your first word is Taroni.
T-O-R-O-N-E.
Enthymeme.
E-N-T-H-Y-M-E-M-E.
Iguape.
I-G-U-A-P.
Denebola.
D-N-E-B-O-L-A.
Fedodo.
F-A-S-D-O-D-O.
Coathai.
C-Y-W-Y-D-D-A-U.
Pohutakawa.
I bet you now there are thousands of parents, never mind teenagers, who are sitting in their cars thinking, what on earth do those words even mean? We've got Dr. Nompumelelo Nyati Mohohlwane, who is the Department of Basic Education Director of Reading. Dr. Mohohlwane, a very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. This is a significant step for Team South Africa.
Good morning, Bongani, and good morning to your listeners. It is absolutely an amazing privilege and a great progression from the last time we spoke when they were heading to Harare.
Yes, indeed. They did win the African Spelling Bee Championship. But of course, now they're going to be meeting teams from all over the world. And I just played you a little clip, a little example of the kind of competition they're likely to face. How stiff will it be?
It will be quite intense. Some of the world champions that are famous and popular are known will be at that competition, and so they will be competing with the best in the world, with about 15 countries in total participating.
So listen, I mean, obviously we are focusing on this because spelling bees aren't just about memorizing words. It's about literacy. It's about making education and learning cool. What skills do learners actually develop through competitions like this?
So they develop skills like understanding the underlying rationale of words, which makes reading an accessible practice for them. All of us are continuously building our vocabulary, even as adults. We're often encountering words we don't understand and words we're seeing for the first time. But if you understand the root of the word, how words are structured in a particular language, it then lends itself to you understanding the meaning and being able to decode that. And those skills then translate into all sorts of facets of life as they get older, as they learn for exams, and as they participate in the rest of society.
I mean, I wish they could have, I don't know, a world competition of spelling in isiZulu or in isiXhosa because, even as adults, there are words we battle to spell. I said earlier, I can't explain why precede is spelled with P-R-E-C-E-D-E and proceed is spelled P-R-O-C-E-E-D when the seed that goes into the ground has an S. which brings me to another question. So many of us are now reliant on things like autocorrect. Is there a danger there?
There is, in fact, because it means we are not using our working memory actively to engage with what we're reading. Those skills then become latent and they are no longer automated and constantly challenged and used and put to practice. And, if you don't use it, you lose it. So that's not a great place to be for us. But on the language aspect, in South Africa, we are bringing back the DBE's National Spelling Bee competition, which was last held in 2019, and then the pandemic happened. We're bringing that back in December, and that will be multilingual, including isiZulu and other African languages, to celebrate the diversity of our languages and to emphasize those differences between English and our African languages.
Are we fighting a losing battle here? I read an article just recently that said the idea of universal literacy was always assumed, but in fact, we are going back as fewer people read actual books. People would rather listen to podcasts. People would rather listen to audio versions of books if they're interested in them at all. But the idea of sitting captive, reading a piece of literature for days on end is becoming rare.
So I disagree. I think firstly, culture is created and we need to cultivate the culture we want to create. And in our context, we want to create a culture of reading. But secondly, an interesting study was piloted earlier this year, the National Reading Barometer, which is an interview-style survey that asks people what their reading practices are. And for the first time this year, they were piloting adolescents being part of this survey. And young people, in fact, in that pilot said they prefer reading in hard copy and not soft copy. I was surprised, but it's a pleasant surprise.
All right, so what's your message to Team South Africa as they head to Shanghai?
I'm incredibly proud of Team South Africa. I'm excited. It's been a privilege to be able to partner with a Better Africa Foundation to make this happen. We've seen provinces, we've seen parents lining up and really getting us ready and preparing. And we've received incredible support from the Chinese embassy who are looking forward to hosting us on behalf of China as we head to Shanghai. And so I'm excited and I have a high expectation about how well we'll do.
Indeed, good luck to all the participants. Appreciate your time, Dr. Nompumelelo Mohohlwane is the Director of Reading at the Department of Basic Education. And we here at 702 Breakfast are champions of kids who are educated, who find that reading and learning and education are cool. And there's no understating the role of parents, teachers, and communities, the role we can play in encouraging our children to develop stronger reading and language skills from an early age.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Catch and release, that's what the Cape Town mayor is calling it, when the criminal justice system allows people to go back to communities without due regard for the serious crimes some of them are accused of. We'll ask him what he means. Coming up next.
This is EWN.
The PIC board explains why the entity's top boss was suspended, and Treasury's funding punishment to municipalities causes hostility. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Public Investment Corporation has suspended its chief executive Patrick Dlamini as it investigates allegations of impropriety. The state asset manager says the decision follows a whistleblower report submitted to its board last month. The board has stressed that the suspension is precautionary and does not amount to a finding of guilt. Mongezi Gogo reports.
The PIC board says Patrick Dlamini has been placed on precautionary suspension to allow a fair, objective and independent investigation into the allegations in line with its whistleblower policy. The suspension will allow Dlamini space to respond to the allegations. It says interim arrangements for an acting chief executive are currently being finalized. Meanwhile, Leo Schmidt has been appointed as acting chief investment officer after August van Heerden stepped down from the role. The PIC manages more than 3 trillion rand in assets on behalf of public sector clients, including the Government Employees Pension Fund, making it the largest asset manager in Africa. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's Finance Committee Chairperson Joe Masangwanyi says the National Treasury's decision to freeze funding to 69 municipalities has caused tension among affected ministers over what appears to be a lack of consultation. Treasury stunned municipalities last week when it invoked legislative provisions to withhold funding meant for municipal service delivery to councils whose finances are not in order. The Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, is now expected in Parliament this week on Friday, along with MECs from the 9 affected provinces to interrogate the decision. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
The municipal equitable share paid to municipalities 3 times a year is an unconditional grant allocated to municipalities through the national budget. The Financial and Fiscal Commission says any decisions regarding this grant should therefore be passed through Parliament. A joint meeting of Parliament's Cooperative Governance and 3 Finance Committees has now been scheduled for the end of the week to discuss the matter. Finance Committee Chairperson Joe Maswanganyi says a more harmonious way must be found to deal with the financial challenges of municipalities.
The decision should not have been arrived at the manner it is now.
Maswanganyi says a detailed explanation will be expected on how the Treasury arrived at this decision, taken in terms of the Constitution and the Municipal Finance Management Act.
Municipalities are independent, and taking a decision of that nature, really, you should have consulted them thoroughly.
The Treasury says the affected municipalities, which includes 4 metros, had been given ample support and advice prior to the withdrawal, but they are still failing to comply with legislation. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The MK party has laid down a marker ahead of the local government elections by recruiting corruption-accused former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede. Gumede will be deputy convener in KwaZulu-Natal, and she's also expected to be the party's mayoral candidate in the metro. She's kept a low political profile over the past couple of years after the ANC made her step aside due to her ongoing corruption trial. The MK Party's Secretary General Sibonelo Nomvalo says Gumede's recruitment is a game changer for the party.
We are giving you a very warm reception because you have unquestionable credentials in the politics of KwaZulu-Natal and in the politics of South Africa. We know that you are coming with a very positive paradigm shift. You are coming with a very positive contribution in the MK party. Let's join our hands together in building this strong ship of the left.
And United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is concerned about the escalating military confrontation between the US and Iran. The US military has carried out a 3rd consecutive night of strikes against Iran hours after President Donald Trump announced he was reinstating a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. The United Arab Emirates yesterday said Iran had attacked 2 ships in the vital waterway, killing 1 crew member and injuring 8 others. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghei says that the June Memorandum of Understanding that formed the basis of the negotiations and lifted the blockade is in a crisis. Guterres spokesperson is Stefan Dujarric.
Mr. Guterres calls on the parties to exercise maximum restraint, avoid further escalatory action, and take immediate steps to, in fact, de-escalate.
Gold is trading at $4,001.13 an ounce. The rand is at 16.45 to the dollar, 21.96 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.67 a barrel.
And traffic remains heavily backed up along the N3 North between the Vincent Chabalala Road exit and the Baklu interchange. That's due to a major accident. While traveling on the Markwan North, we still have got a stop and go between Xavier Street and Car Street due to peak time delays and another accident.
And in your sport, FIFA World Cup semi-final tonight. Number 1 in the world, France, against number 3 in the world, Spain. Kickoff is at 9 p.m. The junior boxer through to the under-20 world champs final. They beat England 53-37. And coach Rassie Erasmus names 4 debutants and makes 10 changes for Saturday's not sold-out game with Wales in Durban. And in golf, Aldrich Potgieter replaces the injured Louis Oosthuizen for the Open starting Thursday.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 4 degrees, peaking at 19. Pretoria 5 and 20. Vereniging 3 and 20 degrees. The top story in EWM this hour. The Public Investment Corporation has suspended its chief executive Patrick Dlamini as it investigates allegations of impropriety against him.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Mamise bonke.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Sometimes I think of South Africans as navel gazers. We're very parochial. We focus a lot on our issues instead of perhaps being aware of the wider world in which we live. But it's difficult not to. Is there a country as noisy, as busy, as boisterous as ours? Just as a sample, we've got the PIC CEO suspended, Treasury withholding funds to 69 municipalities, ministers now upset because they say they weren't consulted. I'll take one newspaper as a sample. The Sowetan this morning, running of course with stories you've heard on EWN. Vusumuzi Kat Matlala putting a spanner in the works for the state, rejecting that 12-year direct prison sentence deal in his fraud and corruption case. Remember, of course, according to the allegations, Matlala acted in common purpose with several senior SAPS officials, many of whom adjudicated that bid that unlawfully awarded him a 228 million rand tender. On the other hand, we have the head of IDAC not showing up at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry minutes before she was due to appear because she has a sick note. In the Western Cape, a High Court judge has criticized a woman who wanted 60,000 rand a month as maintenance from her estranged husband. She wanted contributions of that amount of money. The bond must be paid, cover for household expenses, medical aid, school costs, and 300,000 rand to contribute to her legal fees against him. Yo.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
And just to be clear, of course, part of the reason the judge rejected that application was there were all sorts of issues with what she claimed, contradictions in her evidence. She was, you could kindly say, making up stories as she went along, including, of course, a claim for money that she said he owed her, money, of course, that it later emerged had been stolen from the two of them when things were still kinder, shall we say. But South Africa, at the best of times, a really, really busy country, I can tell you that for sure. Yesterday, of course, the other big news was the former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede officially being announced as now a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. And I wonder what this means in terms of voters and whether or not you can take Umkhonto weSizwe as a serious party if you think of the coterie of rogues that has joined the party. I'm talking about, obviously, Zandile Gumede being certainly one, but there are so many others who've been accused of all sorts over the years, and they're all coalescing around this one party. How much contrition is there in their leader, Ubaba, as he preferred to be called, and indeed the rest of them, from the likes of Tony Yengeni and so many others who have, shall we say, not the most stellar of reputations.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Today, we wish to say, comrades, and to announce to South Africans, to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, to the membership of Umkhonto weSizwe Party, that we are officially announcing Umama Uzandile Gumede as the deputy convener of KZN. We welcome you, Ma. We are giving you a very warm reception because you have unquestionable credentials in the politics of KwaZulu-Natal and in the politics of South Africa. We know that you are coming with a very positive paradigm shift. You are coming with a very positive contribution in the MK Party. Let's join our hands together in building this strong ship of the left.
Secretary General there of the MK Party, Sibonelo Nomvalo, welcoming Zandile Gumede into the party. Is this a party you can take seriously with members like that?
7:02. Up next,
The big interview.
What you need to know at this hour, Adam Gilchrist will give us more details about this in the next hour. A United Kingdom construction boss says smartphones are hurting productivity. He's claiming that workers spend only 2 to 3 hours of the 7-hour day on actual building work. And so that's really a concern. And I can imagine if it's a concern in the construction industry, how much more of a concern is it in, say, office-bound type jobs? How much time do you spend on your smartphone when you are in fact supposed to be working? If you're a boss, if you're a manager, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And for so many people, especially in my world, whose work involves being on your phone, it's very easy to make the excuse, is it not? Beloved actor Sam Neill, best known as Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, has reportedly died at the age of 78. His family described his passing as sudden and unexpected. You'll know him, of course, for roles in The Piano, The Hunt, for Red October, Event Horizon, and Peaky Blinders. I asked you a little earlier on, what lesson did your parents teach you? What did you learn from your parents? And in one of his final public appearances, Sam Neill became emotional whilst reflecting on exactly that question. He was speaking on the ABC program The Assembly when autistic journalism students were allowed to ask guests candid and unscripted questions. Have a listen to this moment.
It has.
What is the best lesson you learnt from your parents?
Oh, wow, that's a really interesting question. That's a really, really interesting question. I think there were, I don't know why that question has moved me so much, but it has. My parents were of the generation that went through a lot of things. They went through the Depression. My mother lost her father in the First War, so she grew up without her father. Yeah, so they went through a lot of stuff. But they were very stoic people. And I'd had a year at the university where I'd done bugger all. I was acting in plays and trying to find a girlfriend and things like that. So it came to exam time, and I realised I'd done almost no work. It got me very anxious. Anyway, I got home, and Mum said, "How are you, darling?" And I said, "Oh, Mum, I think I'm having a breakdown. And I've got exams in a couple of weeks, and I don't know how I'm going to go." And she just looked at me and she said, "Well, you're just going to have to pull yourself together, aren't you?" And I think that was the best lesson I learned from her.
What did you learn from your parents?
EWN Traffic.
7:15, Amo Ramila. Certainly one thing you learned from your parents was to be able to read. Peak time delays everywhere.
Not really. There are peak time delays, though.
Well, they took you to school.
I mean, they did, but you made it sound as if they set me down and said, "This is how you read." No.
What's happening in traffic?
We've got delays, peak time delays, that is, along the Makwa North. This is between Xavier Street and the Kilani Bends. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North. That's between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baku Interchange. That's due to a major accident seen there. Please use the M1 North to avoid this delay, especially if you're heading towards Woodmead as well as Sandton.
Before you go away, can you give me Karabo Jali's number? Thank you.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If an employee said they were struggling with anxiety, financial or family challenges, would your business know how to assist? The reality is 1 in 3 people experience mental health challenges. Gaelo Lifestyle helps employees and their families with confidential counseling, coaching, legal guidance, financial wellness, and nutrition advice. When employees get the support they need, businesses benefit from healthier, more productive teams. If you're looking to support your people and strengthen your workplace, visit kaelo.co.za. That's kaelo.co.za.
We asked rugby legend Frans Steyn what he thinks of the all-new Toyota BZ4X. Frans, would you say the BZ4X is a rugged all-wheel drive SUV?
Yeah.
Cool. Was the acceleration and handling good?
Yeah.
All right. So you think the BZ4X can handle South Africa?
Varangay.
Well, there you have it. The all-new Toyota BZ4X, an all-wheel drive battery electric SUV made to handle South Africa. The BZ4X. It just got real.
This Tuesday, July 14, you could win an estimated 29 million rand total Powerball jackpot. That's a mega 18 million for Powerball and 11 million for Powerball Extra. Catch the live draw this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ETV and SABC. You could become SA's next multi-millionaire. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions.
Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakaya.
Don't miss the last week of the Checkers XXL Savings Championship. Get Clover cheese 800 grams, any 2 for 239 Rand. Gourmet sticky toffee pudding, 450 grams for 49 Rand. And Twin Saver 2-ply or 3-ply toilet rolls, 9 per pack. Buy any 2 and get a third free. Save 76 Rand. Valid until 19 July. Only at Checkers.
What is your business here? You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. This week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on PrimeMediaPlus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
On to this now. How familiar is this story? Police make an arrest. And yet, a few days later, that same suspect that you were so relieved was now behind bars is back on the streets. Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis is warning of what he calls a catch and release cycle. And he says this is undermining the fight, particularly against drug trafficking and gang violence. And it follows the recent arrest and release on bail of an alleged drug dealer in Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town. And he's calling for tougher bail conditions for violent drug offenders, greater powers for Metro Police, and reforms to the criminal justice system. But is the problem the bail system, weak prosecutions, or something larger? He joins us this morning to explain. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Very good to be with you.
You're calling this a catch and release system. I mean, what has prompted you to react in this way and to be convinced that the system may not be doing its best for communities?
This particular case has really angered me, but I think this case is symptomatic of thousands of cases like this around the country. I'm willing to bet that if I went to any court on any random day in most places in South Africa, you'd find other examples of cases like this. Here, just by pure coincidence, I witnessed, when I was on one of my normal safety patrols, I witnessed an arrest of a drug dealer, and I had a suspicion that he would be out within a couple of days. And then when I asked our Metro Police to check his rap sheet, I was horrified that he had previous convictions for drug dealing, for assault with grievous bodily harm. He even had a previous arrest for murder, although that investigation went nowhere, and the charges were, there was no prosecution. So this is not the kind of person that should be getting bail, and yet he was let out within 48 hours on bail. And I've been following that case since then, and yesterday he appeared in court again. His bail was not revoked, his bail was extended, even though I had objected to the NPA that such a person should get bail. His bail was extended, and the excuse given is that the prisons are full, there's no place to store people like that, and so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, I'm prepared to bet that guy is back on the street doing. He deals drugs mainly to kids, and he obviously has shown in the past that he has the propensity towards violence. This is how the criminal justice system looks after a person like that, but actually fails the public. And that's why I call it catch and release.
The number, if I'm thinking about the conditions that would allow somebody to be granted bail in South Africa, we obviously have to think about, is this person a flight risk? Could they interfere perhaps with a witness or destroy evidence? And the issue of public safety, you've mentioned violence there and the possibility that they may commit further crimes. What's the response in terms of the risk that a particular individual like this may pose?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, to be clear, I do believe in bail. It's an important protection for the innocent. But when they are a violent person or have demonstrated violence in the past, then I think that they should not be getting bail so quickly and so easily. And the response from the NPA has been simply, well, all of our prisons are full and we can't have any more prisoners awaiting trial without bail. So we can't actually oppose the bail. And because this is a non-violent crime, they've arrested him for drug dealing, then, in their mind, that's okay. But you've got to take the whole picture, the whole rap sheet. And also, what's absolutely heartbreaking, Bongani, I was there when this guy was arrested, and you just look around, you just stand in that spot and turn around, and you see all of the people to whom he is selling. And it is all kids, kids as young as 10 and 11 that are already the victims, so to speak, of this dealer. That kind of person should not be on the street. And I think as I said, it's an example of how the criminal justice system doesn't work to protect South Africans. We have to stop that.
We'll pause that for a moment, but the other thing you've called for are greater investigative powers for Metro Police. Now, how would that change the game?
So we find that so many of these cases fall apart because they're not actually properly investigated. So yesterday, this case was postponed again. We'll see if this case is properly investigated. I'm going to go to the court every time this case appears. You might think it's a minor thing, but it's just a drug dealer. But I want to follow this to see what it shows about our system. But I know that in a huge number of cases, the case never goes anywhere, not because the person is not guilty, but because the case is not properly investigated, and so it just falls off the court roll. And so what we've said is, particularly for gun crimes, if we could have the power to investigate those ourselves, we could make sure that it is not dropped off the kind of prosecution table. It doesn't fall by the wayside, that it is seen all the way through from arrest to investigation to prosecution to a guilty verdict and a person going to prison. At the moment, we've tracked the data, and the conviction rate for illegal guns is shockingly low. It's about 5%, I'm afraid. That is an appalling statistic. We will never get control of violent crime as long as that is the case.
What's good for the goose must be good for the gander, Mayor. We've seen, of course, part of what we've witnessed at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, the ad hoc committee in Parliament investigating alleged criminality in law enforcement and how our metros run. Is there not a concern that even if this may work, perhaps for the city of Cape Town, it might not do so for other metros?
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, the stuff coming out about the Ekurhuleni Metro Police at the Madlanga Commission is absolutely horrifying. I suspect that there might be a good case to be made that that entire Metro Police Department should be shut down. However, where you have demonstrated capacity and an honest system, I think that you should be able to get more responsibility. And we have demonstrated that. There's not a single person, you can ask your callers now, there's not a single person in Cape Town who will ever be asked for so-called cool drink money from a Cape Town Metro Police officer in this city. Of course we do. Look, we've got 3,500 officers. There are some. Occasionally, you get a bad egg. You get someone who's up to no good. But our system finds them, weeds them out, deals with them very harshly. In general, it is an honest and trustworthy police force, and the public trust it, and it is well respected. So I think that where you have built a system like that, then you should be able to get more responsibility.
So what message does it send to communities, particularly in areas where you've got drug infestation and gangs running the place? What message does it send that if a criminally accused such as this one is back on the streets? I mean, is there any incentive for communities, for example, to cooperate with law enforcement, to report people and crimes they see?
Well, this is exactly the point. Why would they report someone doing something illegal if they know that in 2 or 3 days' time that person's going to be back on the streets and coming to look for the person that reported them? It will never, ever happen. And this is why we have this cycle of failure in these communities where people, officers do hard work to catch these people, and they feel very disheartened because they just see next week they're on the same patrol, on the same shift, and there's that same guy that they arrested last week. He's back out, and nothing ever happens to him. And this is how we fail. So we've got to fix that, and we think that investigative powers is one part of fixing that, and we think that being much tougher on bail conditions is another part of fixing that.
And Mayor, it would be remiss of me, of course, if I didn't cheekily ask you to wear your other hat. Just for perhaps one question. I'm asking you to now speak as the leader of the Democratic Alliance. I mean, your party has been embroiled in this scandal that many would say has laid bare the divisions, the factionalism in the party that we didn't know before, and certainly the controversies surrounding your former leader, John Steenhuisen, and his predecessor, one of his predecessors, Tony Leon. What's your comment on this, shall we call it, state capture style of lobbying within the government of national unity?
No, I think that is a truly ridiculous description. The one thing that has been conspicuously and glaringly absent from all of this chatter is a single indication of any wrongdoing. There's just lots of insinuation and lots of rumor and mudslinging, but not a single indication, not one anywhere, of any wrongdoing. I mean, the fact is that as mayor of Cape Town, any person in government is approached every single day by trade unions, by residents' associations, by industry bodies, by businesses, by lawyers, everyone asking for something
Sure.
on behalf of their clients, on behalf of their interest groups. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is a normal part of being in government. Now, if there's anything improper that happens, of course, then it crosses an ethical line. But not one person in all of this has said that has been the case. In fact, they've been at pains to point out that has never been the case.
Would
They
you
have
not
said
say,
that
though,
repeatedly.
would you not say that the very nature of this kind of rent-seeking is always opaque, that there isn't a smoking gun? I mean, that's part of the reason, even though people seem, at least on the face of it, to be guilty of exactly that kind of impropriety, say from the Zondo Commission, have yet to be charged, because there isn't always a smoking gun. And whether you and I can agree or not, the perception about the Democratic Alliance has been damaged.
Well, I think that may be your view, but I think that the Democratic Alliance is the party of integrity in government, and I know that my colleagues in government, despite the fact that they might be lobbied by literally dozens of people all the time and interest groups all the time to do this or that or hear this or that or hear their clients or whatever, they will act with propriety and they will act with integrity. And if that is not the case, and if there's any evidence presented that is not the case, it will be dealt with most harshly because the DA is the party of integrity in government. But so far, that has never been suggested or alleged in this matter. This is a matter where I think, John said some things as
Have you
part
spoken
of
to
the
John?
kind of disagreement.
Have you spoken to John since his interviews and since the statements he's made?
I spoke to him on the day of his interview. That's the last time I spoke to him.
Was that before or after the interview?
Afterwards.
You spoke about what he said? Or was it a general hi, hello friend,
No.
hello old friend, hello mate?
No. I said to him, I think he's probably done himself a lot of harm, and I'm not sure that it was the wisest thing to do. But but it's done now. That was afterwards, and I don't think it was fair to drop his fellow ministerial colleagues in it.
Is he a dead man walking?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to go to the DTI and he's going to do a good job. He's a talented guy and he's worked a lot on international trade issues, and he'll carry on that good work in trade and industry. But I must point out that I think I really do object to the description, the insinuation that this has anything to do with that horrid phrase, state capture. I think that is sensationalism of the highest order.
Jordan Hill-Lewis, appreciate your indulgence. Cape Town Mayor and also leader of the Democratic Alliance.
EWN Business.
All right, Mateo Kharipe, let's talk business news now. 21 days of fuel stock. Talk to me. Have we got enough?
No, that's what the department wants to fix. Bongani, the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources has proposed new rules requiring fuel wholesalers and importers to keep 21 days worth of fuel stock. The department's strategic stocks policy is aimed at guarding against oil supply crises. South Africa now imports more than 60% of its fuel, making it more vulnerable to global supply shocks. Now, according to the Mineral Resources and Petroleum Minister, Gwede Mantashe, a complete fuel shortage could cost the economy 1 billion rand a day. Government also plans to maintain a 60-day strategic fuel reserve, but industry players have raised concern over the cost of building additional storage facilities and whether added expenses could eventually be passed on to consumers.
Where's the rand?
At this hour, still quite weak against the dollar at 16 Rand 44, 18 Rand 72 against the euro, 21 Rand 96 against the British pound. Price of gold down 0.5% at $4,022 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,609. Brent crude up 2% this morning at $84 a barrel. More business after 8.
Let's go straight to the Eyewitness News desk for this one, brought to you by Khaliq. Khaliq, so the businessman who knows what he wants. Good morning, Sfiso Zulu.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. 5 people have been arrested in Limpopo for allegedly intimidating foreign nationals, inciting violence and impersonating Home Affairs officials. The group in Lephalale is accused of intimidating a Nigerian shop owner who was forced to shut down his business and leave South Africa. Police say the group is also suspected of mobilizing community members against undocumented foreign nationals and encouraging the unlawful removal of migrants from their area. Limpopo Police spokesperson Malisela Litwaba.
No individual or community group is authorized to enforce immigration laws or conduct inspections of identity or immigration documents. Such functions are the sole responsibility of duly authorized law enforcement and government officials.
In the US, an immigration officer has shot and killed a man identified only as a 26-year-old Colombian. The shooting happened in the Biddeford town of 22,000 people in the northern state of Maine. It comes a week after an immigration and customs enforcement agent shot dead a Mexican man in Texas. Reports suggest the ICE officer was conducting an enforcement operation related to a final order of removal when the man attempted to flee in a car in the direction of the officer and was shot. This resident described what he witnessed.
The ICE agent got out of the car. He tried to open the sedan's door, but for some reason it was either locked or jammed. He managed to open it, pulled out the person. At that point, I clearly heard the victim say, "I tried to stop."
Back home now, Home Cocta Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has condemned illegal initiation schools, saying they undermine the integrity of the customary practice by committing criminal acts. 180 initiates have been rescued from bogus initiation schools, while 75 others have been hospitalized since the winter initiation season began. 35 boys have died, while 12 abductions have been reported. Maki Mulapo has more.
There have been reports of bogus initiation schools subjecting young men to harsh conditions which include abuse, kidnappings, injuries and fatalities. According to a preliminary report by the Provincial Initiation Coordinating Committee, 58 illegal initiation schools were opened, but 42 of them have since been closed this year. The report further states 150 criminal cases were opened, resulting in the arrests of 40 people. The PICC says 3 assault cases have also been opened and 1 injury reported. The Cooperative Governance Department is urging parents to enroll their children to legally registered initiation schools with authorized healthcare practitioners. Minister Hlabisa has called for the tradition to be practiced in a dignified manner that protects the health and lives of every initiate. Maki Malapo, Eyewitness News.
And Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, has reshuffled her cabinet, naming a new foreign minister nearly 3 weeks after devastating earthquakes that left more than 4,500 people dead and thousands missing. Rodriguez says she made Venezuela's head of mission in the U.S., Felix Plasencia, her country's new top diplomat, replacing Juan Gil, who has held the job since 2023. Gil will become the Minister of Science and Technology. Meanwhile, Plasencia previously served as a foreign minister between 2021 and 2022 and has also served as ambassador to the UK and China. He was appointed to Washington in February as part of major reset in US-Venezuelans relations following the US capture of President Nicolas Maduro. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 5 degrees, peaking at highs between 19 and 20.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North. This is between Boysons Road and Glenhove Road. That's due to a major accident right near the Glenhove Road exit. While traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Klulis interchange and the Baklu interchange due to an accident.
The top story this hour: 5 people have been arrested in Limpopo for allegedly intimidating foreign nationals, inciting violence and impersonating Home Affairs officials.
Every visit to Khaliq's is an investment you make in yourself, your business, and your bottom line. Because a well-fitted suit, a business suit, says you're competent, respected, disciplined. Everybody wants to do business with you as a Khaliq's man. So pop in and discover everything from shirts, footwear, accessories to match, plus a tailoring service to ensure the perfect fit. And remember, nothing says you mean business quite like a Khaliq's business suit. Khaliq's, for the businessman who knows what he wants.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials.
It's the flavor!
Real reviews by real people. Nico from Kailami is in touch with his emotions. So when we asked about the Nando's Peri Peri half chicken and a single side for only $125, he said,
I'm sad. I finished it.
Ah, Nikos, ungawari. Because this chicken season has more episodes. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Have you heard of the respiratory syncytial virus? RSV they call it. Most parents haven't, even though 2 out of 3 babies will be infected by it before their first birthday. So for most babies, RSV causes mild symptoms, but for some of them rather, it can get worse and lead to pneumonia or bronchitis, which might require a trip to the doctor and even lead to hospitalization. So Sanofi is working to support families during the RSV season by sharing guidance on simple preventative steps to keep your baby safe.
Smart business decisions save money. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's JC from Blonde Hair Studio.
I was with my previous insurer for many years before switching over to Outsurance Business Insurance. I'm really happy with the premium I'm paying now, and switching was definitely one of the best decisions for my business.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
The world is moving fast.
Consumer mindsets and preferences are changing in real time. AI is creating new rules and timelines are shorter than ever. At Plus 94 Research, we help leaders reduce uncertainty. We deliver authentic, real-time data grounded in proven methodologies and powered by relevant, cutting-edge technology. So when decisions can't wait, you move forward with clarity, confidence, and impact. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision-making.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning is Claire. I think more needs to be done on our justice system, in terms of upholding the law and accountability and efforts to decrease our crime rate. It can't be that when criminals are arrested, next thing they're back on the streets. They go back to reoffending. Also, same thing that I can even say on when it comes to officials that are corrupt, and they just get away scot-free like that, So no one should be above the law, and everyone should face the full might of the law.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. Trust you guys are well this fine Tuesday morning. To the mayor, Gordon Hill Lewis, he says none of his police or law enforcement take school ring money. If that is the case, how come they can't solve the Cape Flats violent and drug situation in the last 200 years? That's the biggest lie ever. Bye-bye.
Hey, good morning, Mohani. Listening to your interview with Sharon Hill Lewis here. I think you are a master in this thing. You caught him on something else, and at the end, you actually interviewed him on what you wanted to find out from him. On his, when he said, wear your head as a DA. I just have one question for you. I knew from then that you've caught him. That's why you wanted to have him for this. But yeah, that's journalism for you. And I think it was a very interesting interview, especially the last 2-3 minutes of that interview.
Hi, Bongani. This mayor talks a good story. And then when you bring something to the table about what they possibly could have done wrong with regards to John Steenhuisen, Tony Leon, then absolute denial. They are angels. And that's what I don't like about the DA. They'll never admit any wrongdoing. And nobody's perfect. Admit it, deal with it, or deal at least with what's wrong. Like you say, if there's a smoking gun, there's possibly something to look at. But they'll never admit any wrongdoing. And that's what I don't like about the DA. I see from Johannesburg.
To be clear, there was no trickery involved. We could easily have asked him about that, but I felt that it's an issue that's been well ventilated. His views have been clear. I think he's spoken to Clement about it extensively. And really the thrust of my questioning was, will you at least concede that this thing has hurt your party? You may disagree that it should have, but can we really pretend that it hasn't? I don't think that you lose by saying, look, I don't like it, but here we are, and people have a different perception, and we as a party have to work harder to reclaim that lost ground and ensure that voters understand the option we bring to the table. Simple as that. But there was no trickery involved. If he had said no, he doesn't want to, we would have ended the interview right then and there. He didn't, and so we did.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. A chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. $1,000 for the answer, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. Khumutso is in Bryanston and has an answer for us today. Khumutso, what's the answer? What's the answer for today?
Good morning, Bongani. The answer for today is 1979.
There you go. 1,000 Rand for you, Khumutso, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Today's answer is 1979. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 8830 702.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, the great thing about the Springboks that's been marvelous to see is the pipeline of players, both playing for the senior side and those that are to come.
Yeah, Rassie Erasmus definitely implementing his game plan in the depth and across all generations in this country. Very wise, because it's paying off. Junior Box through to the World Championship final after coming from 8 down at halftime to beat England 53-37. The Junior Box are the under-20s. They'll play France in the final on Saturday. Coach Kevin Foote.
Look, I think England was spirited as we knew they would be, and there were times that we probably just started a bit slow again. So I think the conditions aren't that easy, to play the rugby that we always want to play, but I think the guys again are showing a lot of maturity to come back at half-time, stay to our processes, and a very good second half.
SA Rugby says it will review this year's ticketing strategy. The season's fans refuse to pay exorbitant prices to watch the Springboks. None of the matches this season have been sold out, including this weekend's game with Wales in Durban. 4 debutants to face Wales. Yaku Williams on the wing, lock Ruben van Heerden, prop Carlos Sadi and fly half Vusi Moyo. Coach Rassie Erasmus on Moyo.
I think Vusi, for his age, is a really big boy. Certainly in training sessions, he doesn't stand back for the physical side of the game. He's nice and calm. It's different than a test match, so that's why it's a test match. He will be tested in that. He's a wonderful kicker of the ball. He kicks great the way he kicks off, restarts, kicks to touch are great, and the ball.
In golf, Louis Oosthuizen's been forced to withdraw from the Open due to a back injury. He's replaced by fellow South African Aldrich Potgieter. The world's oldest major returns to Royal Birkdale this Thursday. KwaZulu-Natal Athletics President Steve Mkasi has issued a public apology after a video of him in a street fight with a man who's a prominent member of the running community went viral. It's alleged the man made comments on social media against Mkasi. In cricket overnight, New Zealand thrashing the West Indies by 5 wickets in the second ODI to level the series. Later today, the first ODI between England and India starts at 12.
The EWN World Cup Desk. The latest scores, the biggest stories, and the moments everyone's talking about.
A highly anticipated semi-final battle at 9 o'clock tonight. France, the number 1 side in the world, plays number 3 in the world, Spain, at a 70,000 capacity Dallas Stadium. The game being hyped as the battle between Kylian Mbappe and Lamine Yamal. Going into the match, Opta's computers pitted France as the 42% favourites to win, and a 26% probability the match will go to extra time. France and Spain have played each other 38 times. Spain has won 18 of those to France's 13, with 7 encounters ending in a draw. The sides played last year in the UEFA Nations semi-final, which Spain won 5-4. Tomorrow night's semi-final, the defending champions Argentina against England. England will leave it until late to decide if Declan Rice will start. Last week it was revealed that Rice spent days in bed with a stomach bug in the build-up to the Norway game. England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, it feels special, but it's a job, and we've got that togetherness and that mentality that we want to keep pushing, and it's another game of football against a top nation, and that's what we're here to do. Every game's tough in the World Cup, and Argentina is our next task.
And FIFA is selling the grass that will be used for the final at $450 per piece. FIFA store says each segment of turf is 17.5 by 17.5, but there's no clarity if that's inches, centimetres or millimetres. The caption for the item says, own a genuine piece of football history with an authentic 2026 FIFA World Cup piece of the pitch, permanently preserved in a premium acrylic with a USB keepsake. The website says each piece contains an original fragment of the iconic final playing surface, making it a unique collectible that celebrates one of the world's greatest sporting events. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
From kickoff to the final whistle, this is the EWN World Cup Desk.
Standing still isn't a strategy. Join Wits Business School's virtual opening day on Thursday, the 16th of July at 5:30 p.m. and discover postgraduate diplomas, master's degrees and executive education programs that will equip you to lead with confidence in a changing world. Register today at wbs.ac.za. Wits Business School, sculpting global leaders.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city. On Sunday, 26 July, join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history, and experience the positive growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner, passionate about the growth of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's helping build a safer, stronger, and spirited Josie for generations to come. Register now and take the walk that brings Johannesburg together. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
This Tuesday, July 14, you could win an estimated 29 million rand total Powerball jackpot. That's a mega 18 million for Powerball and 11 million for Powerball Extra. Catch the live draw this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ETV and SABC. You could become SA's next multi-millionaire. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions.
Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakaya.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Artsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is 1979, Silas in Kempton Park, what's the question?
In which year did Donna Summer's Bad Girls reach the Billboard Hot 100 on this day?
You're 49% of the way there, Silas. Come on. It didn't reach the Hot 100 on this day, but where on the Hot 100?
It reached number one.
Number one on the Hot 100. It didn't debut there, so it didn't start on this day. Silas, you lucky fish. You walk away with 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Artsurance and 702. I'm told the singer Kelly Rowland has put her hand up for any biopic that might be considered. She's ready to play the Queen of Disco. I love disco. Do you love disco? I love disco.
To save money, you look for the discounted items in store. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an Outsurance car insurance quote like 48-year-old Adam, who saves
1,803 Rand. Big drop. If you haven't had a valuation on your premiums for a while, it's worth going to Outsurance.
That's a jaw-dropping 1,803 Rand saving on Adam's 2020 Audi Q3. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance saves 37-year-old Lerato 599 Rand on her 2026 Kia Sonet.
$5.99. Outsurance, they are the best.
And that's a fact. Did you know Outsurance had the lowest overturned ratio of complaints confirmed by the Ombudsman in their 2025 annual report? Ready for savings and excellent service? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online.
And they're off. Horse racing is now live on 10Bet. All the tracks, all the races, and all the thrills, all the way down the home straight. Saddle up and join now at 10bet.co.za.
10Bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. License number 921096661.
Johannesburg is calling Sunday, 26 July. Join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. It's proudly partnered by Standard Bank. So you'll walk the historic streets of the CBD, starting and finishing at Ellis Park, celebrating a city on the rise, growing, evolving, and full of possibility. It's more than just a walk. It's Josie coming together. I can't wait to see the surprised look on so many faces of 702 landers as they see the rejuvenation of Johannesburg. Why don't you register now for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk? Standard Bank is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bella.
Ain't no stopping us now.
We're on the move.
See, disco.
Disco.
All right, I'll let you tell it.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is a funny one I saw, and I kind of thought maybe I was unique to it, but clearly not. So you've finished work or you've done something in the day on the weekend and it's now time to go home. Do you like making extra stops on the way home? So this guy posted a video and he said, the older I get, the more I hate making extra stops on the way home. Like I'm late for my house.
Yay!
Yes.
Guys, yay!
I noticed it in particular this year. So like when I'm done with the show in the evenings at 6, I got to get home.
You don't want to meet for drinks?
I feel like I want to race to get home. I have to get home. No, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to put in petrol. I don't want to have to pop into the shop to get milk. I just want to get home. And then sometimes I even negotiate with myself.
Can I tell you what
like I'm thinking, okay, I need milk for coffee in the morning, but maybe I'll get it on the way to gym in the morning.
Can I interrupt you and tell you what it's called?
Yes.
Getting older.
Exactly. Oh gosh. So the question this morning is, what is your kind of your methods when you are done with an event or work or whatever? Do you want to get straight home, or do you stop? Do you mind stopping? Do you like stopping after work, etc., etc.? Let us know.
I love what you say. I'm late for my house. I'm getting late for my house. Are you that person who goes directly home and do not stop anywhere else unless you absolutely must? I'm one of those who will even push the fuel tank to the next morning and hope for the best. All right, check this out.
Yeah, this is a cool one. So a mother and son are at a park. And there's like one of those monkey bar things, and she jumps up on it, and the son looks a bit concerned. He's like, "Mom, no, be careful. What are you doing?" And she does something I think called a cherry roll, which in gymnastics is you sort of hang your legs and you do this backward roll off this bar. Quite impressive, I must say. And she probably was a gymnast back in her day and hasn't done it for a while and tried it, and she did it successfully. But the son was very concerned. And it got me thinking about, the things we used to be able to do, just at the, drop of the hat, we could do it. But now, as an adult, if you try and attempt to do something, you kind of don't have that muscle memory anymore on how to do it because you just stop doing it, right? So what are those things that you used to be able to do as a youngster that you wouldn't attempt to do now as an adult, or maybe you still can? For me, I can't even attempt to do a forward flip into the swimming pool. Crazy.
Yeah, no, or even a backflip, right?
Oh, I never could do a backflip.
You couldn't do it then, can't do it now. But I must say, there's no better feeling, or at least there are very few better feelings, than having your teenager race you and think they will win, and you do.
Oh, really? You can still win?
No, I mean, I could do with the older one, but I don't think I can with this one. Hey?
Careful those hamstrings.
And, of course, they don't mind falling. After 50, I'm very careful not to.
You won't get up.
I won't appear at the Madlanga Commission because of a hip replacement. Hey, all right, that's what's gone viral with Kabazeli. He wants to know two things. What could you do easily as a child or even a teenager, or shall we say in your younger years, that you don't dare now as you are maturing? And are you one of those people who doesn't want to be late for your house? Do you go straight home? You don't want to stop at the shop? You don't want to buy the milk, the bread? You don't want to refuel? You just want to, I want to go home. Have you seen that video? I just want to go home.
702
feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
Yeah, Siamtanda Matiso. I will have everyone know around 702 land.
Oh, no.
She's not one to linger. She's not one you're going to see at the canteen.
Nope.
Buying coffee, hot chocolate.
Nope.
Deciding, do I want a croissant or a bun?
Mm-mm.
As soon as the show is over,
Gone.
She's bolting.
Gone ganj. Listen, Bongs, but I also don't bring my card or money to work because there's Pick and Pay and Checkers on my way home unless I'm in need of something. But the thing that I don't like is getting out of my house once I'm in, because I'm already on relaxing mode.
Bona, there is nothing like forgetting an errand and you've already parked the car.
My word.
And you're already in the yard and then you remember,
I need to go back. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the reactions from the listeners on this one. But before you spoke to Dr. Nombomelo Lelo from the Basic Education Department on the historic move that the Spelling Bee South African team is going to Shanghai to compete, you asked that question, what is that word you struggle to spell? Conscious came by. Q is the other one that I was like, But for me,
because there's different Qs.
Exactly, the one where you line up. And then which was...
The one when... So there's the cue in the line.
Yeah.
And then there's taking your cue.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right?
That one.
There's taking a cue from someone.
Yeah. But also like where to place your M's or S, like embarrassment. I never know how many S's or M's are there. Mississippi is the other one. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of words. But also people answering Mutewa's question, or do you entertain late calls? I realize in this team, I wouldn't call anyone. You guys never answer your calls. You guys are on silent. I would die.
Why can't you text?
Guys.
Say, I'm dying. You'll get a better response.
On the group. And that's the feedback.
We're taking more of your calls, your responses to all that we've raised on the show this morning. We've been having fun.
This is EWN.
City Power warns of week-long cuts and Begitele to take the hot seats at the TRC inquiry. Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. City Power is warning Joburgers about planned interruptions across the metro this week due to essential maintenance on its network. The outages have already started in some parts of the city and they will continue in Midrand tomorrow before moving to the inner city on Sunday. City Power says the work is aimed at improving the reliability of electricity grid during the high demand winter period. Former Police Minister Begitele is set to testify at the TRC Cases Commission of Inquiry today. His predecessors, Fikile Mbalula and Nathi Nhleko, are also scheduled to testify tomorrow and on Thursday. The commission has been investigating alleged political interference in the prosecution of Truth and Reconciliation Commission cases. Alfara Mushwana has more.
The TRC Cases Inquiry is probing the possibility that post-apartheid police and NPA officials improperly colluded with politicians to derail investigations into TRC-related cases. Former Police Minister Begitele, Fikile Mbalula and Nathi Nhleko are expected to be questioned on whether they played any role in halting investigations. The three former police ministers have been primarily mentioned in relation to their oversight of the police ministry during periods when TRC-referred cases remained uninvestigated. However, no adverse findings have been made against any of them at this stage. Kele is expected to testify today, where he'll face questions about whether he obstructed TRC-related cases during his tenure. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
The Public Investment Corporation has suspended its chief executive, Patrick Dlamini, as it investigates allegations of impropriety against him. The state asset manager says the decision follows a whistleblower report submitted to the board last month. The board has stressed that the suspension is precautionary and does not amount to a finding of guilt. Mongezi Koko reports.
The PIC board says Patrick Dlamini has been placed on precautionary suspension to allow a fair, objective and independent investigation into the allegations in line with its whistleblower policy. The suspension will allow Dlamini space to respond to the allegations. It says interim arrangements for an acting chief executive are currently being finalized. Meanwhile, Leo Smith has been appointed as acting chief investment officer after August van Heerden stepped down from the role. The PIC manages more than 3 trillion rand in assets on behalf of public sector clients, including the government employees pension fund, making it the largest asset manager in Africa. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's Finance Committee Chairperson Joe Masangwanyi says the National Treasury's decision to freeze funding to 69 municipalities has caused tension among affected ministers over what appears to be a lack of consultation. Treasury stunned municipalities last week when it invoked legislative provisions to withhold funding meant for municipal service delivery to councils whose finances are not in order. The Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, is now expected in Parliament on Friday, along with MECs from the affected provinces to interrogate the decision. Lindsay Dentlinka reports.
The municipal equitable share paid to municipalities 3 times a year is an unconditional grant allocated to municipalities through the national budget. The Financial and Fiscal Commission says any decisions regarding this grant should therefore be passed through Parliament. A joint meeting of Parliament's Cooperative Governance and 3 finance committees has now been scheduled for the end of the week to discuss the matter. Finance Committee Chairperson Joe Maswanganyi says a more harmonious way must be found to deal with the financial challenges of municipalities.
The decision should not have been arrived at the manner it is now.
Maswanganyi says a detailed explanation will be expected on how the Treasury arrived at this decision, taken in terms of the Constitution and the Municipal Finance Management Act.
Municipalities are independent, and taking a decision of that nature, really, you should have consulted them thoroughly.
The Treasury says the affected municipalities, which includes 4 metros, had been given ample support and advice prior to the withdrawal, but they are still failing to comply with legislation. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is concerned about the escalating military confrontation between the US and Iran. The US military has carried out a 3rd consecutive night of strikes against Iran, hours after President Donald Trump announced he was reinstating a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. The United Arab Emirates yesterday said Iran had attacked 2 ships in the vital waterway, killing 1 crew member and injuring 8 others. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai says that the June Memorandum of Understanding that formed the basis of negotiations and lifted the U.S. blockade is now in a crisis. Guterres spokesperson Stefan Dujarric.
Mr. Guterres calls on the parties to exercise maximum restraint, avoid further escalatory action, and take immediate steps to, in fact, de-escalate.
Gold is trading at $4,030.95 an ounce. The rand is at 16.44 to the dollar, 21.97 to the pound, 18.73 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $84.79 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between the Kilulis interchange and the Baklu interchange. There's also queuing traffic along the N1 North. This is right as we come out of Bayes Nodia Drive towards Winnie Mandela Drive.
And in your sport, FIFA World Cup semi-final tonight, where number 1 of the world, France, go up against Spain at 9 p.m. England sweating over Declan Rice's wellness ahead of tomorrow's semi-final with Argentina. The junior box are through to the under-20 World Champs final, and Aldrich Potgieter replaces the injured Louis Oosthuizen for the Open starting Thursday.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 19 and 20 degrees. The top story in EW in this hour. City Power is warning Joburgers about planned interruptions across the metro this week due to essential maintenance on its network.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to the program if you've just joined us. Gosh, we've already done so much. Team South Africa heading to Shanghai for their debut at the Global Spelling Bee Championships. We spoke to the Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis, who is concerned about the catch and release justice. He's describing this and calling for tougher action against violent drug dealers. You can't release people who pose a risk to society just that easily. Kabazela wants to know, Muteo Haripe, when you are done with your day, the show or whatever it is that you are doing, are you one of those who lingers, wants to meet up for brunch or lunch or drinks with the mates? Or do you feel like you are late for home? You must rush to be at home as quickly as possible.
Depends on the day. There are days where I just want to loiter and
if it's a Friday,
brunches and all sorts of, just avoid going home. And then there are days where I just want to get there as quickly as possible.
Unless it's a Friday, I want to go straight home.
Really?
Yeah. This is a Friday. I want to go straight home. And there's nothing worse than parking your car, knowing you're done for the day, and then you remember, a meeting, an errand, and you just, Amo, what's that thing you could do confidently as a teenager or in your younger years that you are now a little nervous to do?
I think, I don't know, man.
You're still running those parent potato and spoon races, sack races.
Of course not.
You're
I
still
wouldn't
one of those
dare.
mummies?
I wouldn't dare. No. Those are my husbands to do, not me. I would fail. Epic fail.
Morning, Bongani and the listeners. So, I was in Pilgrim's Rest a little while ago, and they had a hopscotch thing on the pavement. And I thought, well, let me see if I can still do hopscotch. So I attempted it, and my right leg nearly collapsed when I landed on it. So, yeah, you think you're still young and you can do these things, but even something simple like hopscotch I battled with. It's Brian from Northwood.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
So Mateo was out of the studio during the news break, but Baphelile, Siamtanda, Amo and I, all four of us, the producers and Amo, we were practicing flossing. Not for the teeth. Don't look at me like that, Mateo. Our teeth are fine. But the dance. You know, the one where you sway from side to side and then you move your arms backwards and forwards.
Good thing I wasn't
We
there.
even found a YouTube tutorial. None of us could do it.
I was going to be useless, so it's okay.
My daughter has given up teaching me how to do that dance because I'm told by the team members that I look like Mr. Bean in my attempts to do it. I remind them of Mr. Bean. What is that? I can't skip.
Skip rope.
Yeah. It's just
Even a gym, nothing.
I mean, I can make the movement, but not with the rope. So I can skip, but without the rope.
For me, it's the hula hoop. I tried it recently, and I thought, I've still got this. And no.
Really?
Yeah, my hips lie.
Have you had a replacement? Do you remember the limbo stick? Right? Can you do the limbo stick?
To a certain level, probably. Any further, I'll need a chiropractor or something.
Good morning to you, Bele and Gabazela. Flores here from a beautiful Western Cape now. I have my seasons when I want to rush home. Winter, I want to just get home. Not only just for the pretty lady at home, but now it's too cold to be outside. Summer, yeah, it depends on what's needed at the house. If I can run an errand, but no, that's just how I am. Have a great summer. Bye.
Hi, Bongani. This topic is so funny. You are late for home. I'm that type of person that when they come out of work, they rush home. Like, yeah, you know how you rush to work, how everyone is rushing to work in the mornings, I rush back home. And I actually just refilled my tank. It was on like 0 kilometers. I could have poured it yesterday, but I was like, you know what? I need to get away from Rudiport.
What kind of worker are you? Straight to home, or do you make stops along the way?
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Morning, Bongani and Tim. Michael here from Sakana. Bongani, one of the biggest lessons that my mother taught me, and I still carry with me today. When I started working, she sat me down and she told me that, you know what, in life there's important things that are urgent and there's important things that are non-urgent. Every time when you get your salary, always categorize whatever that you need to do in that regard. If it's important and it's urgent, you start with it. If it's important and non-urgent, it must follow after.
Hi, Bongani and team. My late dad used to say, for every finger you point at someone, there's 3 pointing back at you. So, yeah, that's from me. Thanks. Bye.
We're talking about lessons you've learned from your parents. It comes, of course, in the wake of news that the veteran actor Sam Neill has passed away. You'll remember him from so many performances in so many series and movies, from The Piano to Peaky Blinders to Jurassic Park. He made some fantastic movies and series. And we played you a little clip earlier where he was interviewed by autistic journalism students, and he was asked that very question about what he learned from his parents, and he was greatly moved by it.
EWN Traffic.
14 after 8, the CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand or more than delays in Midrand.
That's correct, Bongani. The N1 North, that is an accident right near Sambrand Avenue, delays from Olifantsfontein Road. There's also an accident scene reported on the Mark 1 North right near Glenhove Road, delays from the Kilani Bends. While traveling on the N3 North, you expect heavy traffic volumes between Linksfield Road and the Baklu interchange. That's due to an earlier accident. We'll have more traffic reports coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
20 minutes watching DIY hacks goes by quickly, but 20 minutes stuck in traffic, well, that feels like forever. Fortunately, the Outsurance pointsmen are here to save the day. Heroes in green and purple, easing traffic congestion for 20 years. The Outsurance pointsmen helping everyone get to where they need to be quickly and safely. Really just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
On to this now. Africa's growth story entering a new chapter, expanding trade, investment opportunities growing, and stronger collaboration across the continent. That was much of the theme of last week's Standard Bank Africa Unlocked 2026. Business leaders, policymakers, investors, entrepreneurs from across the continent gathered for this incredible gathering hosted by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking. The idea was to explore opportunities, challenges, and partnerships. We're joined now by Simone Cooper, who is the Standard Bank South Africa Head of Business and Commercial Banking. Simone, a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Bongani. Good morning and lovely to be here.
You and I, of course, were both at the 2026 Africa Unlocked last week. And as always, it brought together leaders from across the continent. So many insightful discussions and themes emerged from this year's conversations.
Absolutely. I think some of the key topics that were covered were around things like energy, how to manage resources across the continent, key questions on climate change and water security. There was also a really interesting discussion between banks and development finance institutions on how they work together to support businesses and unlock capital across the continent. Then I think one of the most interesting topics was around how entrepreneurs should think about wealth, succession, and building legacies. And then obviously there was a lot of discussion around AI and digital and where the world is going in that respect.
There's a lot of focus on big businesses, the unicorns, if you like, those that are doing transformational work on a grand scale. But as you and I both know, the backbone of any economy that is successful are the small and medium enterprises. If we're thinking then about amplifying continental growth, what are you seeing in your sector?
Absolutely, Bongani. When you look at the businesses that operate in this sector, they're the ones that are employing new people, they're investing in the communities that they operate in, and they're the businesses that are truly driving growth across the continent. We see significant growth in a number of these businesses, the likes of renewable energy and infrastructure businesses, obviously benefiting greatly from the infrastructure drive that is happening across the continent. Agriculture is a massive focus across the continent, as you'd be aware, and a number of businesses operating both in the primary agri component, but also in the agro-processing side of things are growing immensely. And then tech and AI and digital services is growing across the continent, as is something like logistics.
Let's talk about innovation and technology. I mean, that's one of the big focus areas for what comes next in terms of the story of business. How is the continent positioned in this regard?
So we are seeing a number of entrepreneurs that are starting and developing in the tech and AI and digital services space. In fact, you're seeing significant investment from many of your venture capital funds into this sector specifically. And because these businesses are very well positioned to be agile and take advantage of a number of opportunities that exist in the markets, and more so than your corporate types of businesses, you're seeing this sector growing strongly amongst these types of businesses.
How is the African Continental Free Trade Area been useful in making business seamless across borders, or do you think there's more work to be done there?
So I think firstly, there's certainly more work to be done on the Africa Free Trade Agreements. You are seeing areas such as East Africa where you're seeing significant growth as a result of being able, or people being able to cross borders seamlessly, free flow of capital between many of the countries, making it easy for businesses to operate in many of the different economies there. And so that is why East Africa stands out as one of the great growth opportunities and prospects and good wins that you're seeing there from an East Africa perspective. And I think that as we look to how do we develop trade across the continent, we can use something like that as a great example of what we should be doing more of.
And I remember a couple of panel discussions focused on building regional supply chains. What unique advantages do South African commercial enterprises bring to these Pan-African trade corridors?
So South African commercial franchises have built up great governance structures. They've got the right financial controls in place. They've also built up strong, repeatable operational processes. And they've done so in a competitive market like South Africa. They've also built the appropriate skills and capacity and expertise across many different industries and sectors. And so this positions these businesses from South Africa uniquely to be able to expand across the region. We're also seeing emerging trends of these businesses not trying to do it all themselves across the continent, but they're actually partnering with many different businesses across the continent, making sure that they leverage that local expertise and understanding to be able to grow within those markets.
Fantastic stuff. Simone Cooper, congratulations for yet another successful Africa Unlocked. Simone Cooper is the Standard Bank South Africa Head of Business and Commercial Banking.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Catch up now with news from elsewhere in the world. Adam, it probably doesn't matter now who is in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. Both the US and Iran saying they will charge.
Yeah, it's going to cost us, which means all of us, because it was a free waterway until 4 or 5 months ago when suddenly it got blocked up and all hell broke loose around it. So what we've got now is, again, some more tit for tat. So we've got 3 nights now of strikes with the United States hitting targets inside Iran, Iran aiming at targets, not necessarily always getting through, but nonetheless aiming at targets in the UAE, Bahrain and Kuwait, again, in particular US military sites. But also, given these 2 tankers having been attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, this is now all about, can anything still move through there? At this stage, not really, but Donald Trump's idea is there will be a new blockade on the waterway, making sure that no Iranian boats can come out, though that doesn't stop missiles and drones, but okay. And then charging 20% to all boats that use this once upon a time free international waterway, even though only, I think it's a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, sort of the second in command, if you like, in the United States, suggested that no international waterway should have tariffs imposed on it. Tell your boss that, because that seems to be Donald Trump's idea. And we know that Iran had talked before about imposing, I think it was $1 million per boat. Hey, and it's all of us who are going to pay. Great.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the Iranians are saying, well, whatever the outcome, at least now they're all agreed that whoever is in charge must charge. I wonder if Trump was unwitting, I suppose, in his remarks on that one. All right, let's move continents now, Adam. A French team without the French, huh?
Yeah, allegedly. Okay, so we've got France playing Spain tonight in the World Cup semi-final. It could be a brilliant game. They could stymie each other a little bit, maybe a flash of something. France are favourites, though I don't think they're as clear favourites as some think. I think Spain have got some pretty good players. But Mariano Rajoy, a member of Spain's Popular Party, they're a very conservative right-wing party. He's a former Spanish prime minister. He has said, look, France have won every match they've played. They have an exceptionally strong squad. They're a top of the FIFA rankings. They're a very attacking team. There's one thing they don't have, and that's any French players. He's immediately stirred a debate about whether he is essentially being racist towards a French team that has a lot of black faces in it. Should, in this day and age, or frankly, in any day and age, that make any difference? The French foreign minister has hit back, Jean-Noël Barrot, saying France has no skin color. Other politicians have joined in. Is this all about the fact that the French team doesn't look as white as it once might have? Is that what Mr. Rajoy is getting at? In which case, then, boo hiss, I think we know who we're supporting tonight.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, how to endear yourself to an entire continent of people. Adam, how nervous are you about tomorrow? Will it all be messy for you? Should we not?
Well, it could get messy.
Let's leave that perhaps for tomorrow. And lastly, a building boss is blaming a mobile phone.
Yeah, Mark Reynolds. He's the executive chairman of Mace, which is a big construction company. They have fingers in pies in 70 countries around the world. In fact, I think they're part of the construction project at the airport in Johannesburg, for instance. Anyway, Mark Reynolds is suggesting that productivity amongst construction workers, bricklayers, etc., is down about 20% in the last 10 years. He reckons, I don't think he has the data to bear this out, but anyway, he reckons the reason for this is the mobile phone, that builders are only, he says, doing 2 or 3 hours work in a paid 7-hour working day. And a lot of that time, they are doing what a lot of people do, whipping out the mobile phone, checking for messages, sending a thing, looking at social media, whatever it is. You kind of think it'd be pretty precarious if you're up scaffolding or carrying a hod of bricks or something doing that. But he is absolutely blaming mobiles for lack of productivity or for work-shy builders. The only thing is they're not allowed to wolf whistle anymore. They're not allowed to cat call anymore. They've got to fill their time somehow. Obviously, the mobile comes to hand.
Yeah, I mean, so many of us can easily make excuses for being on our phones because so much of our work is to be found on our phones. How easily do you pick up that phone and get distracted? Has it affected your productivity? Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
All right, let's talk business news. Our final update for the morning, 27 after 8. Muteo, Chinese trade improving as demand for AI hardware has boosted exports.
Yeah, China's trade growth went up far more than the market expected in June. Overall exports rose 27% from a year earlier in US dollar terms, the strongest since October of 2021. In the first half of the year, China's fastest growing export categories were semiconductors or chips, rare earths, cars and ships, while there were drops in toys, footwear, steel and furniture. The country's shipments to the US jumped 14% last month, while imports grew by 26%.
Is it the end of the era of the diamond?
Not a girl's best friend at the moment, right? De Beers will pause production at its Venetia diamond mine in Limpopo for 2 years as it cuts costs amid weak global demand for enough diamonds in the market, and also those lab-grown diamonds are bringing a lot of competition. The mine, South Africa's largest by value, produced 2.2 million carats in 2025 and employs around 4,400 people. The company says it will continue investing in infrastructure so it can ramp up production when market conditions improve. But as we do know, Anglo American currently preparing to sell De Beers as part of a broader restructuring driven by falling diamond prices and growing competition from those lab-grown diamonds.
I cannot believe people don't like them quite as much as they used to. Right? Not quite the sparkle they used to have.
No, losing their shine.
Of course.
That's
enough.
They are. That's enough.
All right. Let's talk about the markets, Mateo.
Yeah, stocks in Asia fell this morning while oil hit a 1-month high in Asian trading this morning after President Donald Trump said the U.S. was reinstating its blockade of Iranian shipping in the Gulf and would collect 20% in terms of a fee on cargo moving through the Strait of Hormuz. Following a volatile start to the session, MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares shares was down 1.7%, led by declines for shares in Taiwan and South Korea, while Japan's Nikkei also lost 1.8%, while the Chinese CSI 300 was weaker this morning.
Your indicators?
Rand at 16 Rand 45 against the US dollar this morning, 18 Rand 73 against the euro, and 21 Rand 97 cents gets you a British pound. Price of gold is up more than 0.5% at $4,030 an ounce, while platinum is up 1% at $1,619. Brent crude at $84 a barrel, up 1.7% this morning. Stephen Grotes with more this afternoon.
Up next, we meet the latest MasterChef chef to exit the kitchen. That's coming up in this next half an hour. In the meantime, let's go straight to the Eyewitness News Desk. Good morning again, Sfiso Zulu.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. A 51-year-old Limpopo businessman is expected to appear in court today after his arrest for allegedly setting fire to a drug rehabilitation center signboard and a car. Police say the suspect, known for his drug-fighting efforts on social media, was arrested during an intelligence-driven operation at his home in Polokwane after investigators linked him to both incidents last month. The fires caused an estimated 800,000 rand in damage, with flames from the burning vehicle spreading to a house where 7 people were asleep. Limpopo Police spokesperson Malisela Dwaba.
The suspect is expected to appear before Sishiwan Polokwane Magistrates Court on Tuesday, 14th July 2026 on charges of malicious damage to property. Police investigations are continuing.
Meanwhile, in the Western Cape, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis has renewed calls for tougher bail conditions for drug offenders as the city grapples with gang violence and narcotics trafficking. Hill-Lewis says the criminal justice system's catch and release cycle is undermining law enforcement efforts on the Cape Flats. His call follows the release on bail of an alleged drug dealer in Mitchell's Plain who had previously formed part of a murder investigation.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, to be clear, I do believe in bail. It's an important protection for the innocent, but they are a violent person or have demonstrated violence in the past, then I think that they should not be getting bail so quickly and so easily. And the response from the NPA has been simply, well, all of our prisons are full and we can't have any more prisoners waiting trial without bail.
The Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa has expressed concern about the continued deaths at customary initiation schools. 35 initiates have died, 12 others have been abducted, and they've been reported to police during this winter season. Controlesa's Eastern Cape chairperson, Muelo Nonyanya, says respect for tradition must go hand in hand with respect for the law and every initiate's constitutional rights to life, dignity, and safety.
We must be concerned. Why? Because the custom of initiation of boys to manhood can never beget any injury, let alone death. Clearly, this signifies something that is drastically wrong in the administration of this custom.
And the Competition Commission has recommended the approval of Harith Aviation's acquisition of Surfair Holdings, which is the parent company of Fly Surfair. Harith is an infrastructure investment firm that finances projects across sectors, including in transport, energy and telecommunications. The deal will see Harith take ownership of South Africa's largest domestic airline, pending the final approval of the Competition Tribunal. Anelita Fandese takes a look.
The acquisition was first announced in February following regulatory scrutiny over Fly Surfair's ownership structure. The Commission found that because Harith has interest in Lanseria Airport, safeguards are needed to prevent rival airlines from being disadvantaged through preferential access or pricing. The recommendation is made subject to conditions aimed at protecting competition. To address competition concerns, the merger parties have agreed to restrict the exchange of commercially sensitive information and ensure that airline and airport services at Lanseria International Airport are provided to all airlines on fair, reasonable and non-discriminatory terms. The proposed transaction will now be considered by the Competition Tribunal, which will make the final decision on whether the merger can proceed. Anelita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 19 and 20 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North between Olifantsfontein Road and Samarin Avenue due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Modderfontein Road and the Baku interchange.
The top story this hour, a 51-year-old Limpopo businessman is expected to appear in court today after his arrest for allegedly setting a fire at a rehabilitation center.
As a business owner, you're always looking for ways to save money. But have you looked at saving on your business insurance premium? With Outsurance Business Insurance, you could save big, like Bosmansdam High School.
We were with our previous insurance for 10 years plus before switching to Outsurance Business Insurance.
We are saving 3,705 Rand per month.
It was so quick and easy, we should have switched sooner.
Ready to switch and save? Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch Corporates That Care this Wednesday at 10 to 9 featuring MTN. Their Group Chief Sustainability and Corporate Affairs Officer, Nompilo Morafe, will be in conversation with us. We do this on Wednesdays to highlight efforts of brands and companies building this society. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. Let's walk the talk and together make a difference.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Dolly from Bottersig is vegetarian-ish, with a reputation to uphold. Here's what she whispered about the half chicken and a single side for $125.
What? I don't eat chicken, but for Nando's, I make the exception.
Well, good thing there's a salad on the side for appearances. Of course. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. It's Mam Tandi from Pretoria East. What I learned from my mother was resilient. And I also learned that I need to do things for myself. When I passed the standard 6, going to Form 1 those days, my parents didn't have money. I was the eldest of 11. So what my mother did, she taught me how to make homemade buns, sell them so that I can get money to go to school. That time, the whole stationery of Form 1 was about 2 rand. So I learned that from her. And since then, I did things for myself. I don't look for any other assistance. I do things for myself. Thank you, Bongani, and have a lovely day with your team.
Good morning, Bongani. The best advice I ever got from anyone was from my mom, a retired Defence Force major and nursing lecturer. And this was learned from decades of observing emergency situations and deciding upon that how to act. The advice was first step back and always look at the big picture.
First, step back, look at the big picture. Resilience. We're asking you that question. What's the one enduring piece of advice you remember from either your mom or your dad? What did your parents teach you? For me, it's neatness and being obsessed with punctuality. Cindy Paluta teases me about even having my unmentionables ironed. Arranging my shirts in terms of color coordination, the whites, the blues, the reds, all of that. That's all from my mother. Cindy, what is that one enduring...
Firstly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your radio show and defend myself. I've never said your unmentionables can't be ironed. I said it's the dishcloths.
Yes, the
I
dishcloths
draw the line
as well.
at the dishcloths being ironed. My dad always used to say, if you didn't see it with your own eyes or hear it with your own ears, don't spread it with your own tongue.
Ooh. Say it again. Say it again.
It's one of those. I can't think of it because it's a proper saying. But if you didn't hear it If you didn't see it with your little eyes or hear it with your little ears, don't spread it with your little tongue.
EWN Sport.
Well, we'll certainly be seeing with our little eyes France versus Spain tonight.
No, it really is the match. Apart from who will make the final, it really is the match of the tournament so far. Not in terms of, it's going to...
Yeah.
We don't know how. It'd probably be like 1-0. But it's in terms of hype. You've got France, who currently sit top of the world rankings, against Spain, who sit number 3 in the world, going head-to-head at 9 o'clock tonight, with Kylian Mbappe up against Lamine Yamal. And it's just poetry.
And for extra pressure, at least on the French, it was on this day in 1998 that they lifted the World Cup trophy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? Just for extra pressure.
You have a
for the funsies.
Much better memory.
No, I saw it earlier.
I would have been in second year varsity. There's not much I remember from a couple of those years.
I remember Thierry Henry, let's just say.
Okay. So these two sides did play last year in the UEFA Nations League semi-final, and Spain did win that 5-4. Lamar scored 2 goals in that game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. And then obviously the winner goes on to meet either Argentina or England. Argentina and England are doing battle tomorrow night in the semi-final. England still sweating over Declan Rice, so he did confirm he has been struggling with the stomach bug for the last week or so. Goalkeeper Jordan Pickford on facing Lionel Messi.
He scored so many goals that he's contributed to so many goals as well over his career, and it's great to be able to finally come up against him for so long and watching him as a kid. And we all know how good Messi is, but we also know how good Argentina is, so can't just solely rely on Messi. We've got to focus on the other strengths as well, and the other weaknesses we can take advantage of.
The junior Bucks are through to the Under-20 World Championship final. They came from 8 points down at halftime to beat England 53-37 last night. Junior Bucks will have the chance to claim back-to-back titles for the first time ever when they play France in the final on Saturday. Junior Buck coach Kevin Foote.
Look, I think England was spirited as we knew they would be, and there were times that we probably just started a bit slow again. So I think the conditions aren't that easy, to play the rugby that we always want to play, but I think the guys again are showing a lot of maturity to come back at half-time, stay to our processes, and a very good second half.
Springboks take on Wales this weekend in Durban. Coach Rassie Erasmus named 4 debutants in his side that has 10 changes. Unavailable due to injury, Etzebeth, Marstad, Esther Hazen, Moody, Pollard and Nche. The coach adamant he respects Wales.
The Welsh people, there's that hardness, that toughness. Our first test match, which our coach was against them, we lost. The next year we went interview to, we lost. So I think that's probably one of the countries we as a coaching group had the worst coaching record against. And then if you took last year, we gave them 70, went with a 7-1 split and so on. So we respect them.
Italian lock Nicolo Cannon has been banned for 4 weeks after he headbutted All Blacks halfback Cam Roygaard last Saturday. Golf's oldest major starts at Royal Birkdale this Thursday. Louis Oosthuizen's been forced to withdraw due to a back injury and is replaced by fellow South African Aldrich Potgieter. And some cricket later today. The first ODI between England and India starts at 12. Last night, New Zealand thrashed the West Indies by 5 wickets in the second ODI to level the series. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Welcome to Nando's Taste Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Nadine from Belito is no scallop, but she did call the flame-grilled half chicken in Nando's unique peri-peri recipe with a single side of your choice for $1.25 dope. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, sorry. Relax, Nadine. The only thing we're busting here is your hunger. Okay? Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Some of the biggest advances in health are happening right here in South Africa. Local researchers are studying a promising new TB vaccine candidate called M72, one that could help stop people from getting seriously ill. And programs like Coach Mpilo are helping men living with HIV overcome stigma, start treatment and stay on it. It's South African science, innovation and community leadership helping to shape the future of global health, and it's supported by the Gates Foundation over the last 25 years. Partners of human potential.
Famous for available staff, famous for knowledgeable staff, famous for always helping you with a smile. Now with 10 Chamberlain stores across Gauteng, our expert staff are here to help you with all your hardware needs. Paint, power tools, gardening, pet care, and plumbing. Big on stock, strong on service, built on values. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
EWN Traffic.
16 to 9. Amor, let's wrap up the morning's traffic. It's been a busy one. Those delays in Midrand. That crash on the N3, I think it was.
Yeah, the N3 North near the Baku interchange. Unfortunately, traffic remains heavily backed up as a result. Queuing traffic coming out of Modderfontein Road. If you're traveling towards Rivonia or Four Ways, do expect delays on the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive, while on the N1 North in Midrand, an accident right near Samrin Avenue. Delays coming out of Olifantsfontein Road. I'll have more traffic updates for you right at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
So when you're walking the 702 Josie, my Josie, walk the talk, Sunday 26 July, keep your eyes open because Mazda is bringing wonder to the 8-kilometer route. So there are going to be 5 Mazda Wonder experiences. They'll have a piano performance, a world of color, a bubble field, a Japanese garden, and the Mazda Wonder Hub. Visit one of the 5, capture and share your wonder moment on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Tag and follow at Mazda SA using hashtag Mazda SA, and you could win your share of 50,000 Rand. Mazda, where wonder awaits. T's and C's apply.
At the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, snap and share any one of 5 Mazda Wonder experiences using hashtag Mazda SA to stand a chance to win a share of 50,000 Rand.
The Global Entrepreneurship Congress Africa returns to Cape Town from 16 to 17 September 2026. The continent's largest Pan-African platform brings together investors, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. GEC Plus Africa is powered by African Bank in partnership with the Western Cape Government, Microsoft, Amazon, Telkom, 22 on Sloan, and more. Register on gecafrica.co. GEC Plus Africa, connecting Africa.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
So it's usually around this time that Clement Manyatela will go past the studio galloping, trying to make it on time for this little throw forward conversation. But earlier, at around 7 o'clock or thereabouts, I saw him in the canteen. He came in super early to work today, KG. That means today's Clement Manyatela show is going to be hot.
Like it always is.
I mean, I sold that, didn't I?
You did. I've got that jersey as well. Where did you get it?
If you're on YouTube, you'd have to
is that
it's the Pringle one. Yes.
No, we got it when we were in the Western Cape
thing.
at the golf thing. Yeah, did you play golf? Because only golfers got that jersey.
No,
that's why I have.
I was at the spa.
Why did they give you the jersey? That was for golfers.
What's on the show, Kevin?
Coming up on the show, we'll start with the 702 open line. We'll reflect on what happened during the briefing by the MK party yesterday.
Just pause. Like, hold on. Where are we? So on the one hand, you can obviously easily dismiss because yet another rogue politician joins this gallery of rogues that makes up a huge chunk of the MKP leadership. On the other hand, Zandile Gumede is a very, very popular figure in KZN politics. Does that then mean gone is eThekwini in this election and possibly the province in 2029?
I mean, how close was the province being taken by the MK party in the first place in the last elections? So that just gives you a sense of what we can sort of expect in the next elections. I mean, look at the ANC's results after they started having issues with Zandile Gumede. You'll see the support declining in eThekwini. So
what does that tell us about figures in our politics who continue to be popular despite the clouds swirling above them?
We enable it because ultimately
Clap.
it's not ANC
the clouds are gathering.
people.
Clap.
Yeah.
The clouds are gathering.
We do. And we need to ask ourselves those questions because we can't always put the blame on, but the ANC is. No, you are going to vote for a candidate of any political party that they've put up. So that's a responsibility we must take. So we'll chat about that, but also reflect on what they said about Zuma's trip to India. We're also going to have a conversation about what Daily Maverick reported on yesterday. And this is about Kabelo Khobisa Ngaba, who was the Chief Operations Officer
He was
for
just
Tony
an
Leon's
ordinary
Resolve
worker
Communi-
in
Yeah.
the party.
Who joined
was
the
just an
DA as a
ordinary
member
worker.
of parliament just a couple of months.
He was just an ordinary worker.
That's the explanation from Resolve Communications, but I don't buy it. So we've got Kabelo Khobisa Ngaba joining us on the line just after 9 o'clock when we start the open line to hear her side of the story. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to be in conversation with the SACP General Secretary Soli Mapaila. There are a number of developments in the Tripartite Alliance and the repositioning of the SACP. At 11 o'clock, we do our World of Work feature. Today, we're dealing with mid-year career check-in. Are you growing or are you at a standstill? Do you sometimes do the mid-year check? We'll tell you why that is necessary. And then we wrap up the show at 11:30 with our health and wellness feature. Today, we're discussing type 1 diabetes in children.
The Clement Manyatela Show. Hot, hot, hot. Between 9 and 12.
What I love about this year's 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is that we're going to be walking through the city where I have lived all my life. Joburg is still a magnificent city, and there's no better way to experience that than to walk its streets. You should take part in this year's Walk the Talk because it's a chance to spend a day with a family that you've kind of been part of, but you've never met most of the people. Yes, Joburg has its problems. There's no doubt about that. The whole country has its problems, but boy, do we come up with solutions and new ideas every day. So let's walk, let's talk, let's see how we go. This year, I'm actually going to do the 15K walk. When I look at the routes, 15Ks gives me a chance to really take it all in and a chance to meet as many of you as possible. To enter the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, go to primemediaplus.com. Sign up and we'll see you there.
Residents are reminded that Rand Water will undertake the second and final phase of its planned maintenance on the 17th of July. This is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So during those 12 hours, several Joburg water systems may experience poor pressure or no water. Residents are encouraged to store water in advance and to use it sparingly during the maintenance period. Systems affected will include Sandton, Midrand, Randburg, Roodepoort, Soweto, Lenasia, Orange Farm, and surrounding systems. For updates, you can follow Johannesburg Water Communication channels, brought to you by Johannesburg Water, a water and sanitation utility that cares.
Peregrine Capital presents Brian Habana's Count to 100.
In my journey to 100, it started with my first cap, then my second, 10th, 50th, 90th, 99th.
Brian Habana, his 100th international test.
You get to 100 one decision at a time. For 28 years, Peregrine Capital has applied that same discipline to turn 1 million rand into 100 million. Peregrine Capital. Invest in performance. An authorized FSP. Past performance non-indicative of future performance. T's and C's apply.
Hey, we buy cars. How does it work if I want to sell my car?
We'll drive to your place. You can visit our pods. Even if you don't have space, then at the mall in a parking lot, we've got lots of depots all across the land. Contact We Buy Cars. You're in safe hands.
Wow, that's great.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
He's the one you didn't see coming along because for weeks, in fact, he's been one of the strongest contenders in the MasterChef kitchen. He's won multiple Dish of the Day titles, impressing the judges with his creativity, especially when it comes to vegetarian cooking. But the contradiction is that he was also possibly one, I think, of the more nervous contestants quite often, a lot of the time. Jishen Govender, of course, his journey has ended after he failed to meet one crucial part of the last brief. I suppose, Jishen, well, firstly, welcome to the program. Thank you for coming in.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
I suppose high teas, I'm thinking pastries, I'm thinking chocolates and all kinds of fun goodies, but I'm not thinking a lot of vegetables. Was that where you lost it, do you think?
No, definitely not. I think I'm also quite a fan of high teas, especially with my mom and my grandmom. So I think it was more just the time. It just got the better of me. One of the elements that I made was actually a salmon tartlet, and then it was a scone and a orange posset. So the orange posset didn't set. I didn't get the scone on the plate. Oh, so it was, yeah.
How dreadful is that feeling of knowing you've run out of time?
I think I was gutted. After getting my feedback from the judges, I just went back to my station and put my hands on my head because I knew I'm in trouble.
The scones were particularly sentimental for you, being able to bring that recipe. Tell us a little bit about that, being able to bring the personal into your cooking in the kitchen.
So my Ava scones, Ava is Tamil in in Tamil it means grandmother. So she made these eggless scones for decades, and everyone loves them. So I wanted to play tribute to her in that sense. And yeah, I felt that I let her down there. But when I spoke to her on Sunday night, she was like, "No, darling, you didn't let me down."
I mean, a lot of the time, as I said in my introduction, although you were consistently, in fact, one of the stronger contenders for the season, you were always, to me at least, it seemed panicked.
I stress. I'm a natural stressor. I think I stress a lot because I care. It comes more from a point of caring. I always want to do my best, and I always want to put I'm like extremely difficult on myself. So I want to perform. I want to do well. Yeah. So
has this journey taught you to be a little kinder to yourself?
Definitely so. I think overall, I wouldn't say I'm not a less stressed Jashen post MasterChef, but yeah, I think it has. It's trained me a lot to just be a little bit easier, a bit kinder to myself.
Because things don't always go to the worst case scenario.
100%.
Right?
Agreed.
So how have you overcome being a warrior?
A warrior. Oh, I'm
still a warrior.
I'm still a warrior. Like honestly, I'm on meds for my anxiety and stuff. And honestly, I think like sometimes we see it as a negative.
Yeah.
But if you use it in the right direction, it pushes you to be high performing. And
there were many times where you were. I mean, I remember the episode where Zola says, man, I would put that on my Instagram. Your food was Instagrammable.
Yeah.
You know, the judges consistently would say that they would eat that, they would order that, they would have that at their restaurant. I mean, that kind of feedback must have really built up.
No, definitely so. It was. I was so humbled to hear those feedbacks from the judges, and just doing well in the show in general. It was something that I was really grateful for getting that feedback. I know personally that I know how to cook. It's something that I've been watching MasterChef, and I'm a lover of the brand for years. But yeah,
I mean, just the whole being the veg guy, right? You're the veggie king. How difficult is it to make food that is vegetarian for people who insist that there must be a meat element on the plate?
I think it's pretty difficult to please people when you mention vegetables, whether it's family or whether it's friends or whoever. But as somebody who used to eat meat before, I tried to find food that resembled or replicated certain meat dishes. So when I made the deep fried cauliflower, it's basically if you don't taste it, it tastes exactly like a chicken wing. And I think that's like I tried to find the balance, to balance it.
Do you ever tell people who visit your home, for example, not tell them that it doesn't have meat, but tell them to just eat and see?
There's actually been a few occasions where that's actually happened, and people were so surprised
that it wasn't meat.
That it wasn't meat. At one point, so I made the same dish for some family friends, and they were like, "Jish, is this chicken?" And I was like, "No, it's actually cauliflower."
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
What's the secret? Because I know one of the things you do is you're a food photographer.
Yeah.
What's the secret to, firstly, a great presentation, but B, being able to shoot it well?
I think it's natural lighting. It's something that I try not to edit my pictures too much. It's something that I appreciate pictures in its raw form. So I try to use natural light a lot, and yeah.
All right. So what happens now? Do you stay with being a VAT consultant?
So
do you pursue a food dream?
For now, definitely. I've worked really hard in my career, so definitely don't plan on leaving anytime soon. But I definitely want to balance the two. I made a promise to myself, just making top 20. I wanted to make a success out of this. I wanted something in food. So I've got my website that will be launched soon. And
pop-up dinners, maybe?
Yes, pop-up dinners, private chefing. That's basically in the works, and I'm excited to see.
And your number is 08.
You're always welcome to come home.
So listen, if you could choose any dish now, and if I were to invite the 3 judges to come to the studio right now, what's the dish you would choose to make for them?
Something that I've made already on the show, or something?
No, something new, something that would surprise them, something that would say, listen, I'm still Jashen.
I definitely think had I had the opportunity to cook in the egg challenge, it would have been my pavlova. So I would have loved to make that for them.
Your favorite veg?
Oh, that's so difficult. Cauliflower.
Your worst veg?
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Not many people will argue with that. Listen, Jashen Govender, congratulations. You entertained us. You thrilled us. I think many of us who are MasterChef fans were rooting for you, particularly because there was no overconfidence, right? You weren't that guy who was arrogant, and yet your talent was very, very demonstrable from the food that we could see. So congratulations on this journey, and we wish you well.
Thank you so much for that, Bongani. It means so much.
That's very true. Jashen Govender, the latest chef to exit the MasterChef South Africa kitchen.
7:02.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Look at the time. It's 9 o'clock. The Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. IDEX senior investigator Brian Pereachi will appear at the Madlanga Commission today. The investigating directorate against corruption has come under fire at the commission, with previous witnesses testifying about